For Ty Willingham, as a great writer once said, it was the worst of times. For California, it's the best of times. Job at best, to be exact. What the writer didn't say is, it's College Football Saturday. We come to you today from the campus of the University of California here in Berkeley, California. Beautiful fall day, and what we have is the end of a regular season for the home team and the end of a coaching tenure, sadly, for the visitors. This is College Football Saturday. Today, Washington Huskies come in trying to beg one win out of this sad year, and the California Golden Bears, they are bowl-bound. And hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins. You know, my partner, Petros Papadakis. And P, we're looking at a very talented California team. Been a little bit banged up. Right now, probably in as good shape as they have been for a long time.
Well, not only in good shape for this game and for their bowl game, but into the future. This is a Cal team in this place that celebrates free thinking and free spiritedness, that really has some explosive players. Job at best, the most explosive of them all. This is a legitimate speed threat. The fastest guy, I believe, on the West Coast playing college football, and they have a great linebacker in Zach Fallen. They're saying goodbye to him today at home on senior day. This is a guy that plays great in space. He really flourishes in that 3-4, and he can get in the backfield in a hurry and really harass the quarterback. Plays well inside, too. This is a Cal team that has a lot of power, and I think they're going to be good for a long time coming under Jeff Tedford.
Yeah, I do, too. And this defense really has been what's carried the Bears so far this year. Job at best has really played with one arm so far this year. Turn the coin over, talk about the Washington Huskies, and of course, the final game for Ty Willingham.
It's tough to see Ty Willingham go, but he knows better than anybody else. You go winless at this point in the season at the University of Washington, you're going to get fired, and that's what happened to Ty Willingham, saying goodbye to his seniors today, saying goodbye to the Washington program. Probably already moved his stuff out of his office, needs a long vacation, and a lot of speculation out there that by the end of the day or by Monday that Steve Sarkisian, USC offensive coordinator, is going to take over coaching duties at the University of Washington. A lot of intrigue there to see how that whole thing works out.
It is interesting, though, that Ty Willingham's players have not quit on him. We don't expect them to lay down today either. They're looking for that first win. I know it's a tough task here at Berkeley, but one thing to remember, last time these two teams hooked up, it was Washington that put a hurt on the California Golden Bears, who have struggled with this Husky team for the last couple of years. So it's California. They're going to a bowl game. Washington trying to salvage a little something out of this season. After the break, we'll send you to our College Football Saturday studio in Los Angeles. College Football Saturday is presented by Acura. Visit shopacura.com during the drive home for the holidays event. Acura, advance. And brought to you in part by freecreditreport.com. Do you know your credit score? You can find out right now, instantly and online at freecreditreport.com. By Best Buy, you happier. And by Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And we welcome you to Memorial Stadium here on the campus of the University of California, one of the most beautiful facilities. Here come the California Golden Bears on Senior Day. And what a day it is for football here. It'll be the Huskies and the Bears. And it gives us an opportunity right now to meet the third member of our broadcast team. And Jim Watson, has always been a legacy about passing with Jeff Tedford, but that's not the only legacy he set at Berkeley.
Yeah, that's right, Barry. You know, it's not only my job to inform, but also to help dudes win bar bets. So here's one for you. Remember this one. The next time you're out with the boys, ask them this. Name the Pac-10's top rushing team over the last 6 years. Of course, everybody's going to say USC. I did too. We're all wrong. Actually, the Cal Bears are the Pac-10's top rushing team since 2002. Why 2002? Well, that's when Jeff Tedford arrived in Strawberry Canyon. And every year since he's been at Berkeley, they've had a 1,000-yard rusher. Igbear, Arrington, Echimandu, Lynch, Forsett, and now Javid Best, who needs 171 yards to become the Pac-10's regular season rushing champion, and that's well within his grasp. He just lit up Stanford for 200 in the big game. But Barry, if you're going to win that bar bet, you better hurry, because the secret is out. A quick internet search by me, and I'm no good on the internet, revealed more than 100 minutes of video on the nuances of the Cal running game, how to break it down and how to stop it. And you know what's funny? I was always told that Tedford was a quarterback star maker. It was all about the passing game. All those guys he sent to the NFL. Maybe my dad was right. The key to happiness is all about balance and moderation.
Absolutely. Thanks, Waddy. And that's really what makes the passing attack, is the fact that he's always been able to run the football.
Well, it certainly does balance out any football team. The same could go for Washington if they're able to get a run game going. If you can run the football, makes things easier for absolutely everybody, especially the quarterback and especially the offensive line. Offensive lines love it when you can run the football. Those big 300-pound guys like to go forward, not backwards, and Jeff Tedford has really figured out the run game here in Cal. It's been an unbelievable legacy.
And for Ty Willingham, it's the last roundup here. 13 straight losses, and guess what the last team that Washington beat was?
Well, it was the Cal Golden Bears, and they ran all over the Golden Bears that day. Jake Locker did not start that game. He was hurt. Carl Bunnell did last year, way back in November. And Lewis Rankin went absolutely crazy in that game, ran all over Cal. Cal was beat up on defense, but no excuse for that.
And it's a squib kick to start things here, and it jumps right over the head of Quentin Richardson and is going to go into the end zone. Richardson still doesn't find the handle, and now he finally does, and a near disaster on the opening kickoff. So the Washington offense will be in the hands once again of Ronnie Fouch, and that was one of the things that headed this season in a downhill slide right off the bat in Game 4. Jake Locker was injured. They really had to change the offense.
Locker broke his thumb in the first half against Stanford. That was the 4th game of the year. He was trying to throw a block, and then Ronnie Fouch, a redshirt freshman, had to come in and play. Was not ready to play, and that killed about half of the offense. Like you said, Barry, all the zone reads, all the quarterback running stuff. Fouch can move around a little bit, but not like Locker, one of the best runners we've seen in a long time at any position.
Willie Griffin, the running back, splits to the far side and put it up on first down. The pass is caught by Paul Homer, the fullback, but only a pickup of about 2. Here is the way Washington will cover the dance in the lineups presented by Acura. Experience on the offensive line, 3 returning veterans. Willie Griffin will get the start. He's just a freshman. We did not see a lot of Willie Griffin until 2 weeks ago when he came up pretty big.
Ran a lot of zone, very conservative running back, likes both hands on the ball, finds the hole. He's a one-cut guy.
Second down, we'll call it 7. And Fouch gave to Griffin, nothing doing. Griffin stopped right as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Might have even lost a yard. Tyson Alualu on the stop for California. Here are the Bears defensively. Rulon Davis with Mike Akane and Tyson Alualu. And the linebacking core is really the strength of the California defense, and they make the secondary that much better.
Well, I really love these linebackers. They run a 3-4 because it's easier to recruit, frankly, at a place like Berkeley with the high academic standards. Easy to find that body type at linebacker, and they do a great job running around, confusing things, making plays all over the field.
Well, this time the Dogs really spread it out. 5 wideouts, empty backfield, 3-man rush. Fouch has to step up. Now he'll run, and he is going to be stopped short of the first down at the 27-yard line as the Bears converge on that pretty well. Sidquan Thompson and Zach Follen on the tackle for California, and the Dogs will go 3 and out.
Washington's had a hard time moving the ball all football season. They do have a tendency to get a few first downs and get it going a little bit, but something always seems to happen once they cross the 50. Interception, 3 and out. It's just been that kind of year for the Dogs.
Jared Ballman, the punter, will punt to Sidquan Thompson, and he can scoot. Bear special teams have been pretty good this year, too. There's a high, short kick. Thompson, fair catch at the 38-yard line. So the Bears will start in pretty good field position, just a 34-yard punt, but perhaps more importantly, no return for the California Golden Bears. So the Bears will start on offense for the first time. They will be led by Kevin Riley. Riley was the starter at the beginning of the season. He's had, quite frankly, kind of an up and down season. Pretty good completion percentage, 14 touchdowns and just 6 picks. And as Jeff Tedford told us yesterday, he has made good decisions, and that's really what's kept him out there. first down is to Javid Best, and he doesn't get much. Maybe a yard. Mason Foster comes up, makes the stop from his linebacker position. Offensively, the lineups for California. Alex Mack, already named the Player of the Year academically in the Pac-10 Conference. That just announced today. We talked about Javid Best. The receivers are getting better every game. There was no experience in the receiving corps, very little at any rate. Coming into the season, they're getting better and better.
And that's what didn't happen at Washington. Washington came in with the same situation this year, virtually no receiver experience, and they did not develop, but these guys at Cal have developed and made some big plays. All of them around 20 catches.
Second down and 8. Cal, a big play team. Give us the Best, and Best pressed into the secondary. He's the 45 to 40. I don't think you're going to get him. Once he gets into the open, he is gone. Javid Best, 60 yards.
Well, you said it best, Barry. Once this guy gets an edge, it's over. And you see the incredible speed of Javid Best. Coming into the game, he needed about 170 yards to get the Pac-10 regular season rushing title and wrestle it away from Jacquizz Rodgers. This is a very simple zone play. No big deal, just to the left side. You see the gaping hole. Best absolutely untouched. Wonderful blocks all the way through on the Cal offensive line. Just a well-executed zone play that goes to the house. And what speed from Best.
Try for point is up and good by Giorgio Tavecchio. And it's a 7-0 ball game, and we are just getting started. We'll come back. That's running backs coach Ron Gould talking with Javid Best. I'm sure all he could say to him was, way to go, kid.
Well, one of the great things about Ron Gould is he's been here the whole way with Jeff Tedford, and even before that, he's a big reason that Cal has had such great running backs all the way through. These guys are absolutely well coached, but I don't know how much coaching you can do in that situation. Gould's drawing something up and talking about something, but when a hole's that big and the guy's that fast, I'm not sure what you tell him on the sideline. Just way to go, like you said.
Exactly. Jeff Tedford, incidentally, very complimentary of Ron Gould and the work he's done here. Kickoff this time, headed for Richardson at the 3-yard line. Comes back for 10, fakes the reverse, and is dropped short of the 20-yard line. They may spot it right at the 20-yard line. And down on special teams for California is Tracy Slocum.
Well, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see a bunch of bad angles taken by Washington linemen and linebackers, and everything just opens wide for Javid Best. I mean, absolutely no resistance on that play, and that's just, even if you do have a stunt the wrong way, the hole's not supposed to be that big, but that's exactly what happened that time for Cal, and they scored quick on the Dogs. If the Dogs want to have a chance to win this game, they've got to answer right now, even though their offense has struggled all year long.
They start right at the 20-yard line, and Fouch going to go up. He's got all day to throw it. Now he airs it out, and it is almost intercepted. Floated that ball a little bit. Griffin was open for a time. Brett Johnson defending. Pete, let's talk about the day's in scouting report for the Washington Huskies.
Well, they got to find balance of emotion. Obviously, it's a sad day because Ty Willingham's gone. This team really believes in Ty Willingham. Can't be too emotional, but you can't be too down. They have to find a way to stay with it also. Just get after the game, get some first downs, and tackle Javid Best, and might have a chance to win it, but doesn't look great right now after that first drive by Cal.
Second down and 10. And here's Griffin right up the middle. He'll get about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Rulon Davis makes the stop. Let's take a look at the day's in scouting report for California.
Well, it's already started. They got to get Best going, and obviously Javid Best is going about as well as you can early in a game. They have to remain active on defense. This is a fun defense to watch because of these linebackers. Zach Follett, Warren Williams, Mohammed. They all move around and do a lot of good and creative things, and they're well coached by defensive coordinator Bob Gregory. Third
down and 8. California, remember, the 9th best defense on third down in the country. And this pass is caught but well short of the first down by Michael Gottlieb. And once again, the Huskies will have to give it up. Anthony Felder right in the grill of Gottlieb.
Well, they try to run a middle screen to Gottlieb and get him up the field, but here comes Felder, and he puts a hit. Not a nice wrap-up tackle, but sort of a kill shot, and Gottlieb able to get by him, but not enough for the first down.
where Williams was the first man to it. Ballman punted away again to Sidpon Thompson. High twisting kick. Fair catch made at the 27-yard line by Thompson. A good punt that time. 43 yards, no return. Bears will have it again. 11:07 remaining first quarter, and California already leads it 7-0. Bears lead it 7-0. They'll have the ball for the second time. Earlier today, Dan Larson and Bill Limos from Oral Wheat presented Bears swimming standout Yerine Godek. The $10,000 Oral Wheat Healthy Mind Scholarship is awarded for overall excellence in athletics, academics, and service. And we thank you, Oral Wheat, for your support of student athletes, and congratulations to Yerine, one of the great swimmers on this California swim team. First down, Bears. First pass was caught by Boateng, and Boateng will be close to a first down. I believe he'll have it just short of the 40-yard line. Defensively for the Washington Huskies, and they've just had to play too much. It's just that simple. Daniel Taylor-Nessheim, we've talked about him. Quality player. Cal coaching staff talked about him a lot. Donald Butler's had a very good season in a losing cause for the Washington Huskies. In the secondary, well, they've had some issues. Mesfin Forrester is the senior and the leader of that secondary. It is short of the first down by about a half a yard, so kind of a free play here for the Bears. Second out inches. Javid Best again. Same play as went for 60 yards. This time it just picks up a first down. Trent Tuiasosopo on the stop for the Huskies.
Watching Javid Best, you know, looks really good today. Kind of hard to figure out the all Pac-10 running backs. Difficult to decide. You got Quiz up at Oregon State. Toby Gerhart, they started today with 4 yards and touchdowns than Javid Best. Plus you got Jeremiah Johnson and LeGarrette Blount at Oregon. A lot of good running backs in the Pac-10 this year, but they've all missed a few games. They've all been injured, except for Jeremiah Johnson at Oregon. He's been pretty strong all the way through, but doesn't have the same amount of production.
Here's Best again. Best trying to kick it to the outside. He gets into the open again, dances by one man, cuts it back up the middle, picks up about 14. Was that a thing of beauty?
Yeah, he went right by Mesfin Forrester, who is a pretty agile player at only 202 pounds, but Javid Best is just one of those guys that has a live body. Now, you could compare him with Joe McKnight at USC, but Best has a lot more up-the-field speed and doesn't do a lot of stop moves. You see that he made a nice move there on the Exmo, but also his legs were always going forward, and that's what got him the first down. This is a fun back to watch, and to see that he's done it all this year with a dislocated elbow and that giant thing on his arm is really impressive.
Not to mention a hip and an ankle and a toe also that has bothered him at one time or another. This time Riley rolling away from pressure. Now he throws, and the pass is caught by Cameron Mora, the tight end. Not going to gain a lot, maybe about 3 yards. Well, the first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com at home.
With the O. It's getting close now.
Last game of the season, and we got it down.
Absolutely, and getting close to the holiday season.
That's right.
Got to get on there and start doing something.
That's what it's all about.
Get something for somebody.
Second down and 6. And here's Best again. And Best cuts it back and picks up about 3. He'll get across the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Nate Williams makes the stop for the Washington Huskies.
You know, we've done a lot of Washington games this year, and I've always been impressed with the guys running around on defense. Butler, Foster, Nate Williams at strong safety. These guys knife in and do make some very active plays, but it's just not been enough this year for the Dogs, especially with the way the offense has gone. This is a defense that is a lot better than their record.
They have been able to get out of the blocks in the first quarter. They've been outscored 124 to 27 in the first quarter of games this year. Javid Best again, and again he almost broke it. And every time he touches the ball, it's exciting, I'll tell you that. Chris Stevens makes the stop at another California first down. Take a moment to recognize our U.S. Bank Pac-10 Conference Players of the Week for this past week. Jeremiah Johnson had a huge game, 219 rushing yards in the Civil War against Oregon State, a big win for Oregon. Troy Nolan of Arizona State had a big game on the defensive side. David Beeler, who has quietly been tremendous this whole season for USC.
One of the strongest legs we've seen in a while, especially on those kickoffs. I mean, almost kicks all of them through the goalposts.
bright future for Beeler, I think.
He looks like a real football player. I mean, he almost looks like an outside linebacker when you see him around town.
This is Shane Vereen with the football for the first time. A little cut back here, and he picks up about 6 yards to the 25-yard line. California so far making it look easy.
Not only are they making it look easy, their game plan is starting to materialize against these Huskies. They want to run zone. They want to get their running backs going. They probably want to get Javid Best, if they can, the regular season rushing record in the Pac-10, and also get Vereen a little bit more experience. Both these backs, very good, very explosive, and they have a future here at Cal. They're both going to be here next year, and they just look like they want to run zone and beat up on that Washington front.
Well, Waddy was talking about all the great California backs. I mean, a couple of times they've had 2,000-yard rushers. Riley pulls it down. Now he's hit as he throws, and he throws it out of the reach of Laurel Cunningham.
Stevens came in there and put a hit on Riley. Riley looked like he wanted to get rid of the ball and almost fluttered out of his hand, and then he pulled it back and threw it again. Not a great throw and fell incomplete. Kevin Riley's a guy who's been inconsistent this year, pretty inaccurate. There you see Stevens as he loses his helmet, taking Riley down. Accuracy is really the most important part of being a quarterback for Jeff Tedford, and Riley hasn't had a lot of it this year.
Third down, and a little bit short of 4. This is Vereen, and Vereen is going to get close to the first down. I think he got it. He got it with second effort. Now a late flag comes in.
I think they're going to call that on the Cal center, Alex Mack.
Maybe.
A little bit of unnecessary roughness.
We'll wait for the call. Referee today is Jack Folliard.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on number 51 on the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
So it is, in fact, on Alex Mack. And
you're going to see him wrestling Mason Foster down. Then they come out of the screen. The first down, nice physical run by Vereen, but it's all for naught. And those are the type of penalties that really bother Jeff Tedford. But what are you going to say to Alex Mack?
Exactly.
I mean, he's one of the best ever in the Pac-10. First team all Pac-10 academic player of the year in the Pac-10, Remington Award finalist, all that stuff. I mean, he's probably the best center to ever play at Cal.
Might be, and there have been a few pretty good ones. Incidentally, that was a post-possession penalty, so it is a first down, but the ball will be moved back to the 36-yard line. Called 35. Riley this time gave to Vereen again, and Vereen takes a couple people with him and got something out of nothing. He picked up close to 4 yards on that play. And when you see a play like that, you have an idea of what kind of push the offensive line is getting.
Well, you can just hear the pops on the microphones we have down there on the field. This is an offensive line that has been very physical all year and led by a great player. We were just talking about Alex Mack with the penalty against Mason Foster, but they've done great here at Cal offensively. They've had great receivers, great offensive linemen, great running backs, fullbacks, quarterbacks. They've really got it going on the offensive and defensive side of the ball with the talent that Jeff Tedford's brought in here to Strawberry Canyon.
Now they split Best to the far side of the field. Riley over the middle, threw behind the intended receiver, Smith, and he was unable to hold on. He took a real shot. Boy, that time Riley really set Smith up to get stuck.
And he's down. I didn't know if that was the helmet or the ball that came out. They both came out on that play. Listen to this hit.
Wow. And it was Trenton Tuiasosopo who made the hit. Well, there's head-to-head contact right there. You can see it was accidental, I'm sure, but Tad Smith went down very hard, and he started to get up, but they're going to keep him down, and that is a precaution. And he is moving, as you can see. So they'll tend to Tad Smith. We'll tell you what happens when we come back right after this. Welcome back to Strawberry Canyon. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis, Jim Watson, Washington, California, and the good news is Tad Smith did come off the field under his own power.
Well, you got a lot of angry guys playing at Washington who want to take this season out on somebody, and that time Donald Butler and Trenton Tuiasosopo really took it out on Smith in a big way.
3rd down and 7. Vereen, the running back. Riley will put it up. Now he steps up. He can run. He'll get the first down. And still on his feet all the way to the 15-yard line. I think Washington thought he was going to slide. He just kept going.
Tuiasosopo finally caught up with him, but not before Riley showed some legs of his own, doing a great job of kind of a Jake Locker impersonation, taking that ball down the field with authority. It opens up pretty well. Riley, who Tedford told us has been making good decisions all year, makes the right decision here, makes a cut right in front of Nate Williams and gets a first down. And right now the Dogs just aren't winning on third down in this drive, and it's really hurting them. 13th play of this drive. That was a 17-yard pickup by Riley. Here's going to be a halfback pass, but Vereen's not going to have a chance to throw it. It was going to be intended that time for Cameron Mora in the end zone, but Chris Stevens never gave Vereen a chance to straighten up and throw. And the senior Chris Stevens in his last game in Washington has been very active thus far, coming off the edge, and he was right in the face of Vereen. Vereen doing a good job of just tucking that ball away and taking the running back sack. So Vereen comes off the field, and Javid Best will come on to replace him. Does Stevens get credit for a sack on that, even though it was a running back trying to throw the ball? There's a lot of shrugging shoulders going on up here. He might lobby for it after the game. Jeff Chapman says yes. If Chapman says yes, it's yes. There's a pass this time to the fullback. That is Will Tafol. You know, we talk so much about all these great running backs at Cal and what they've done in the run game, and certainly the coaching and the backs themselves and the offensive line should be credited. But this guy, Will Tafol, is a fantastic fullback who was hurt last year and missed the whole season. And that was really a blow to Cal. It's been great to have him back this year, blocking and doing what he does out there, catching the rock a little bit too and running the rock a little bit too. Yeah, and the Jeff Tedford offense, the fullback has always been an integral part. Lead blocker, picks up blitzes. Riley straight back with time over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Sean Young. Nate Williams defending, but the ball was there. And finally, Washington does a great job on a third down and forces a kick by the Bears. This is a small victory for the Dogs. It was a nice throw and probably should have been caught by Baran Tucker. But nice play by Williams. So Giorgio Tavecchio will come on to try a field goal. He's 7 for his last 8, so he's been on a roll. Interesting guy, another guy that Jeff Tedford just loves. And this one he hits, and he hit it wide. So we put the jinx on Tavecchio. So he's now 7 for his last 9, and the score remains 7-0 California. So kind of a mini break, if you will, for Washington. Well, during select Pac-10 football games this year, a Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance was chosen. Pontiac awarded the school $1,000 to its General Scholarship Fund. Determined by your votes, we now have the announcement of the Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance of the year. And congratulations to the Oregon Ducks. With 50.6% of the votes, the Ducks had the winning performance during the game against Washington back on August 30th. Ducks' strong offense, courtesy of Pontiac. Oregon receives $10,000 for its General Scholarship Fund. Pontiac is the official performance machines of the Pac-10 Conference. Speaking of performance machines, what about that Washington D? Forcing the field goal. Tavecchio misses it, and now Washington with a chance, Barry. A chance to move the ball and tie the football game. Yeah, let's see if it gives them a little bit of a lift. They get a stop on this field goal. Here's Griffin. Griffin will not get much. Maybe might have gotten 3 yards, get to the 25-yard line, but again, a 3rd down and 5. And the Bears very good on 3rd down, and Washington not so good on 3rd down. Well, we see Griffin running the ball a little bit, did really well in the Apple Cup running the football. The Huskies almost got a win 2 weeks ago in that Apple Cup. Washington basically controlled the game and led the whole way, but the Huskies allowed a late drive for a tying field goal, and then they lost in double OT to what has been a hapless Washington State team this year. And that was just insult to injury for these Huskies. To lose that Apple Cup to that Washington State team had to be very difficult. And Fouch hit as he throws, might be a fumble, picked up by the Bears, and it was Michael Muhammad who picked it up. We'll see now if that arm was coming forward. Zach
Follett was the guy who absolutely popped Fouch, and it is going to be a fumble.
You talked about Follett in the open. Just watch him coming off the edge, no hesitation, tenaciously attacking Fouch, and that ball goes flying, and a ball hawk indeed is Mike Mohammed, who comes up with the fumble. Didn't look to me like the arm was going forward at all.
No.
That is a fumble all the way through. Nice job by Cody Havett just making the play on Mohammed. But Cal takes over.
So once again, the offense for the Huskies turns the ball over to the Bears, and when it looked like Washington had a little bit of a break, California gets it back. Here's a pitch this time to Vereen. And Vereen trying to take it to the outside, gets to the edge, and will be stopped at about the 6-yard line. Yori Fogerson.
Watch the speed of Zach Follett coming off that edge. Oh! And again, nice job by Haben making the play on Mike Mohammed, who has been all over the football this year for Cal. Whenever that ball goes up in the air, he seems to pick it off or pick it up or do something good with it. Very active player.
Absolutely. Javi Best back at tailback now for the Bears. Ball at the 7-yard line. This is Best. And Best, nothing doing this time. Picked up about a yard short of the 5-yard line.
And here comes another third down opportunity. They've done a good job, the Huskies have, in this first quarter of forcing third downs on the last 2 drives for Cal. Let's see if they can be successful again. Defense for Washington seems to be playing with a lot of fire and a lot of passion. They've been knocking heads out there. Aside from the big long run by Best, they've done a good job of tackling and making sure that they don't give up big plays.
You can see the Bears have been pretty successful in the red zone. They've had 24 touchdowns in their 41 appearances. Here's Best on a play fake this time. Riley rolls to his right, looks to the end zone, throws too tall, way over the head of Tucker. And so once again, Giorgio Tavecchio will come on again. Give it up for the Washington defense.
Especially the secondary on that play. They had the underneath guy, they had the guy in the corner of the end zone, and they had the guy in the back of the end zone all covered. Riley made the right decision. Tedford was talking about decision-making from Riley. Just getting rid of that ball at the out of the back of the end zone.
So Tavecchio, who missed his last, will try it again. This will be a 23-yarder. At an angle. This one he drives through. So Tavecchio has 1 out of 2, and the Bears lead it 10-0 on the 23-yard field goal. Tavecchio, very interesting guy. Jeff was talking to us about him yesterday. Wasn't even on the team until 3 days before the opening game against Michigan State.
He's a young Italian guy who just kind of showed up and started kicking as an invited walk-on after camp, and then ended up being the kicker for the first game of the year here against Michigan State. And when he went out for the first kickoff and the clock is running for the delay of game, he was so in awe of the atmosphere looking around the stadium that they were worried that they were going to get penalized. He's been great all year. They love him.
All right, let's go down to the sideline. Jim Watson, what do you got?
Well, we saw Tad Smith for California, the tight end, stay down for quite a while. He lost his helmet on that play, guys, and as a result, he was actually cut twice on his face. Once right below his left ear and another above his left eye. They brought him over to the sideline, did a little observation, you know, watched his pupils go back and forth. They talked to him, and of course, like all guys we've seen, when they get hit in the head, first thing they do, Barry, try to talk the trainer into letting him go back into the game. It's not going to work. They're going to watch him for a little while and maybe check him again at halftime.
Absolutely. I'm sure I told you that was the story. They ask boxers, of course, where are you? And if they give the right answer, they can go on. I remember a fighter going down as Quentin Richardson tries to kick this to the outside. I remember the fighter going down. I'll finish the story when we get back from this game break with Mike Goldberg. Goldie?
Well, Barry, the story in the Conference USA title game is now complete. East Carolina, Tulsa tied at 24, under 2 minutes left. Ben Hartman, good from 36 yards. Skip Holtz and East Carolina win their first Conference USA title. For the Pirates, it's their first conference title since 1976.
Thank you, Goldie. We'll be going back and forth to the studio all day. A lot of important games being played today. But anyway, they asked this fighter, where are you? And he said, America.
Well, that's very general.
It's the right answer. They let him go on. There's a give on an inside handoff this time to Jordan Polk. And Polk is going to be close to a first down. Still might be a little bit short.
is a shifty guy. They got a lot of young guys playing for UW, and they will be good in the future. And we talked about all the speculation, and it seems pretty solid that Steve Sarkisian will be taking over after this game at the University of Washington. They'll have a lot of guys, a lot of young guys who have had a lot of experience to work with.
Yeah, the cupboard is definitely not going to be bare. Here's a give straight ahead, this time to Griffin. Griffin's going to get a first down into California territory, 48-yard line. Morrell Williams makes the stop. They fake the reverse that time. And that is Washington's first down. Ty Willingham still all business. We spoke with him yesterday. He says we got another game to play. I expect my guys to play hard. They have.
They have played hard. They've come out with a lot of emotion, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Ask Tad Smith how emotional they're playing.
Exactly. Here's Fouch with all day to throw it, but great coverage by the Bears. And Goodwin had absolutely no chance. Darian Hagan had him covered all the way. And Fouch did the right thing by basically throwing it away.
Well, I'm not so sure how happy Ronnie Fouch is going to be to have this season be over, but it's definitely been really tough on the young man. Taking over for Jake Locker, who is a state hero in Washington, and really one of the best athletes we've seen in a while playing anywhere in this country in college football. But Fouch has had a rough time. 45% passing, 12 interceptions as opposed to only 4 touchdowns. Just a really harrowing year for the young man.
Sure has. Bears come with a blitz, and Griffin is stopped after a pickup of about 3, and that'll be the last play of the first quarter. Marcus Ezef makes the stop for California. And we'll jump off the track and look at the scoreboard at the end of the first period. Shows California 10 and the Washington Huskies nothing. California pretty dominant that first period. We'll be back. We begin the second period, and Washington again in one of those situations where they need to get something on the board here. They're into California territory for the first time, but now looking at a 3rd down and long. They need 7. Fouch out of the gun. Low snap from center. Fouch digs it off the ground. He's in trouble. Mohammed gets him. He fumbles the football. And let's see who's got it. The Bears have this one, too. Mohammed just really nailed Fouch. And for the second time, he spits it up, and California gets it back.
I tell you, this 3-4 defense, Bob Gregory's defense for Cal, really coming off the edges. Zach Follett and Mike Mohammed both putting on a good blitz. There you see, going right by Paul Homer is Mohammed, and makes a very physical play on the quarterback. Ball comes out. Mike Mohammed has been awesome this year. He's only a sophomore from Brawley, California. And he's just been all over the place. 76 tackles coming into the year. And Michael Mohammed recovered the own fumble. I mean, that was wonderful.
That's a big-time play. He recovered the other fumble also, as a matter of fact. He's a guy that Bob Gregory was telling us he may be his best linebacker. He doesn't start.
He doesn't even start, and he'll be... The 4 starters are all seniors, but a lot of guys coming behind them, like Bishop, Johnson, Holt, and Mohammed, all great players.
There's Jamin Best trying to get to the outside. Can't do it, cuts it back, but still picks up 4 yards.
And, you know, Cal doesn't really bring in the same fanfare or caliber of athlete that USC does in the Pac-10, but these guys certainly perform like they are down there at USC. There you see Mohammed looking happy with those good 90210 sideburns. Looks like he got a haircut right before the game to look good for this final home game in Strawberry Canyon. These guys really perform, and they're starting to have it at Cal to where they're just reloading. They have players behind players, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of drop-off next year, even with graduating seniors, and now they got Longshore in the game.
So Nate Longshore, Jeff Tedford told us he wanted to get his senior some time. He brings Longshore on now, and to give this time straight ahead, Best might have gotten about 3. Nate Williams makes the stop, about a yard short of the first down. And Jamin Best already at 100 yards.
Well, there you see Nate Longshore. Here's a guy who had a lot of success early in his career at Cal, and then it sort of dropped off after that. Tough time last year as he played with an ankle injury for the entire year, and this year didn't go in as the starters, played a little bit, but it's been Kevin Riley the whole way through, and he hasn't taken the job and run with it either.
There's Javid Best once more, and Best will be close to the first down. I think he will get it, and it's all based on line charge that time. There was nothing there. Darian Jones makes the stop, but Javid Best will have enough for a California first down. Incidentally, Tad Smith is back in the ballgame, so obviously gave the doctors the right answer.
Must have said America.
Yeah, there you are.
He might have said NorCal.
Yes.
That works as well. Tad Smith in that situation had the helmet pop off and then his head bounced on the turf. And we always talk about it, Barry, whenever we have anybody who hits their head in a football game. Nothing hits harder out there than the ground. I don't care how big, how tough, how hairy, how breathy you are out there as a defender. You don't hit harder than the ground in college football. The ground is a killer.
Longshore going to go up for the first down. Rolls away from pressure. They came to the corner blitz that time and throws back underneath, incomplete. Intended for Tad Smith. Let's go to the sideline. Jim Watson. Waddy.
Well, you guys were talking about Alex Mack before, and this guy, and Jeff Tedford told me, he's just a dream come true. Pac-10 Scholar Athlete of the Year, as Petros told you. That was just announced. He's a finalist for the Dratty National Scholar of the Year. That's on Tuesday in New York, so he's getting on an early plane to go to that. He's a finalist for the Lowe's Senior Class Award. He's a finalist for the Remington Trophy, which is the best center in the country. And, of course, last year, he was the Pac-10 Offensive Lineman of the Year, voted by, and this is kind of cool, by the defensive linemen. Studley, good-looking, unlimited potential. Reminds me of a young Jim Watson.
About 100 pounds heavier.
And here again is Javid Best. And that's one of the nicest 3-yard runs you're going to see.
You make two guys miss on a 3-yard run, but you stop your feet, you're only going to get 3 yards. That time making Darian Jones look pretty silly. He is a fun back to watch, and you're going to watch Mack doing his thing. First with the pass set, and then turns that nose tackle all the way around. That's Alameda Ta'amu. And just a really, first with the pass set to bring the man into him, and then turns his body. Just perfect fundamentals as a center.
Absolutely, and that was a 348-pound guy he was moving like that. Third down now. Longshore out of the gun. In trouble. And that ball popped loose, but I think they will say this was a forward pass. Teo Nessheim was coming and had Longshore all wrapped up. So the Bears are going to have to give up the football here.
Well, you're going to see Daniel Teo Nessheim, just the epitome of brute strength as a football player. A really good defensive end for Washington.
Brian Anger will come on to punt. Anger coming off a game against Stanford in which he averaged 60 yards per punt. Just a freshman. He doesn't want any 60-yarder here. And a fair catch going to be called for right at the 8-yard line. And he'll take that, thank you very much, as Goodwin caught the ball, and that might be considered questionable. We're coming back right after this. 10-0 ball game, 11:28 remaining here in the first half. Do you remember the day the earth stood still for? Well, it was November 17, 2007. I remember it was a rainy Saturday. Washington 37, California 23, and that was the Huskies' last win.
Well, the Cal defenders were standing still on this day, as you see Rankin just running right through them. Washington ran all over Cal that day, and Willingham had to be happy with that rushing performance. Hadn't seen a lot of that since.
That is Willie Griffin, did not get very much. Saquon Thompson on the stop from California. He'll pick up about 3. He got more than I thought he would, to tell you the truth.
Well, leading up to that play, UW just 19 yards on 14 plays. 5 plays of 0 or negative yards. Just really struggling against this very active Cal defense. Watching these linebackers is a lot of fun. They really get after it.
Yeah, all of them. And you mentioned earlier they graduate 4 linebackers, but right behind them is a bunch of other guys who can play. Finish this time gives to Griffin, tries to bounce it outside, and that's not going to happen either. Coming on to make the play, Eddie Young, another one of those linebackers. Now Eddie Young will be back. He's a junior.
You know, Cal has really developed a lot of swagger in the Jeff Tedford era. The program kind of hit rock bottom under Tom Holmoe, and Tedford has moved this team annually into the top 2 or 3 teams in the Pac-10. Nobody comes to Strawberry Canyon without their helmets strapped on tight. When they come to your place, it's the same deal.
Jeff was saying, too, he played all the really tough teams on the road this year.
Oregon State, USC, all tough trips. They took care of Oregon pretty good here.
Fouch rolling away from trouble. And now he has to unload it. And he just kind of threw it and ducked. Intended for Jermaine Kearse. And that was just not going to happen. Anthony Felder just had him zeroed in. Watch this.
You're going to see Felder come flying in. He wears the number 7.
And he threw and got out of harm's way. Fourth down, no, and they'll have to punt it out of their own end zone. Ballman, so the Bears should get good field position here. Saquon Thompson stands right about midfield, short, twisting kick. Thompson might have a chance here at about the 48-yard line. Thompson trying to get to the outside. If he does, it's trouble, and he does. He's at the 45 to 40, to the 30-yard line, 25-20, down to the 15, still on his feet at the 10, down to the 6-yard line.
Well, when you punted low in that situation, and Cal absolutely had the return on, you're in a tough spot, especially with a guy like Saquon bringing it back. He's got a lot of speed. Other than Follett, probably the flashiest player on this Cal defense, and a pretty good punt returner. They set up the wall very well, and he hits that sideline 40 yards all the way down the field, and finally TJ Poe gets him on the tackle, but beautiful return and well executed by the Golden Bear.
You can see it coming, too. The combination of the short kick, and you can see that wall. Once he got there, it was over. First down, goal Bears. Give it a job at Best again. Best slips by the first man, gets it down close to the 1-yard line. Pickup of 6. Remember, job at Best needs 171 yards to become the Pac-10 rushing leader. Calavente makes the stop, but a pickup of 6.
And this is what sets Best apart. Look at his ability to break tackles at the line of scrimmage. Even though he's under 200 pounds and sort of known as a track guy when he came in, he is a physical, real running back who does a great job running inside and outside, and we've seen it in this game when he hits the outside edge. Look out.
We always talk about guys who dance into the hole. He does not do that. Here he is again. Touchdown, California.
Didn't have to jump, but I think he made that decision in the huddle. That's when you make that decision, by the way, on the goal line. When to jump and when to stay on the ground. And it didn't look like Best had to jump. Let's take a look at it. He could have walked right in, but he decides to jump, and he looks good doing it.
He does. He protected that left arm, too. You notice he didn't land on that hand. So job at Best with his second touchdown, and the Bears lead 16-0 pending the extra point try. And Tavecchio drives this through, and it's a 17-0 ball game. So the Bears move in front by 17. 8:57 remaining to be played here in the first half. We're coming back. College Football Saturday is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. By Days Inn, the best value under the sun. And the first down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Save time and fuel by shopping comfortably at home with Overstock.com. At home with the O. We have 8 minutes and 57 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half. California has dominated the ball game on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They have forced a couple of turnovers, and then, of course, the 40-yard punt return by Saquon Thompson, setting up the second touchdown of the game by that man right there, Job at Best.
Vallejo, California's finest, right behind the great rapper E40.
And Dick Bass. Who remembers Dick Bass? Quentin Richardson gets it back to the 30-yard line. It was a short kickoff by Tavecchio. And the Huskies will start right there. Amati on the tackle on special teams for California. Well, Jabin was, you know, legitimate track man, too. And so often you see a track man who tries to play football, but this is a football player who's running track.
Definitely, and he looked like that kind of guy right from the get-go, right when he started running the ball. I remember being in camp here at Cal when he was a true freshman and watching practice and just seeing the ability level that he brought. It was unparalleled for a young guy.
Griffin trying to get to the edge, and much as California has been able to get to the edge, the Huskies just have not against the Bears. Anthony Felder runs down Griffin, who's a little slow to get up.
Willie Griffin is a guy who is from this area, Oakland, California. McClymonds High School. A lot of guys from McClymonds end up going to Cal. Willie Griffin ended up playing up at UW, and he's running the ball pretty well today.
Well, the first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Save time and fuel by shopping comfortably at home with Overstock.com. At home.
With the O.
Thank you. Second down and 9 for the Huskies, who have struggled mightily on offense. Fouch straight back. Blitz comes. Fouch in trouble again. Steps up, throws a duck. And it is intercepted. Picked off that time by Hagan. And the third turnover for the Washington Huskies. And everything that could go wrong in that play did go wrong.
Well, they've had a plethora of turnovers in this first half. That ball just went up, and a great job by Darian Hagan cutting in front. Of course, the son of the quarterback in Colorado.
Well, when we return, we'll send you to our College Football Saturday studio with Mike Goldberg. Thanks very much, Goldie, and we'll get all the info at halftime, of course. I'll bring you up to date on everything that's happening on this big College Football Saturday. Last big football Saturday of the regular season. Then we get into the bowl season. Longshore can put it up on first down, as all day. Now he steps up, throws, and it is caught on a grab by Mora. And Mora had to wait all day for the ball, but it finally got there. Mora takes down to the 28-yard line. Tuiasosopo finally makes the stop.
Mora showing Crabtree-like strength in that situation and just standing strong for the ball. Longshore with a good-looking drop steps into the throw. We haven't seen Nate do a lot of that in the last couple of years with all those lower leg injuries, and Mora's got to wait for it, but looked like all the dog defenders kind of misjudged the football. Donald Butler was there, so was Vonzel McDowell, but Mora pulled it down in spite of those guys.
So the Bears the first down at the 28-yard line. And there's a reverse this time to Ross, and Ross trying to get outside the block of the fullback, Taufoa, and does, and will pick up about 8 yards.
Well, this Cal offense is not lighting everything on fire here in Strawberry Canyon. They started the game very conservative with the zone, and now they're starting to get it going. Throwing the ball to the tight end, running some reverses. They did try a halfback pass earlier in the game in the first quarter with Vereen. With Longshore out there, they're starting to open it up a little and throw the ball downfield.
So it'll be second down and 2. The ball right about the 20-yard line, just a little over the 20-yard line.
It's pretty easy when they give you turnovers, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll say. And here's Javid Best, cuts back up the middle and into the end zone for a touchdown. How quick was that?
That's just fantastic zone running by Javid Best. People talk about the zone and how it's changed football and the run game over the last couple decades, and this guy, even though he's very fast, runs it very well because the zone does involve a lot of patience. Best zone runner I've seen in the Pac-10 ever is Lindale White. But you see Javid Best, a fast guy, sometimes you can be a little too fast and get in the hole too quickly and it closes up. That time he does a great job of selling the front side of the play and then just cutting back with that tremendous speed.
Try for point is up and good by Tavecchio, and it is a 24-0 California lead with 7 minutes remaining to be played here in the first half. You know what I really like about Javid Best is it's no nonsense. He's into the hole.
He's in the hole and he's right up the field. There's not a lot of messing around, especially if he sees it. And there is not a long time between his eyes and his legs. Believe me, I played the running back position. It seemed like there was a year between my eyes and my legs when my career was winding down. But for Javid Best, the explosion in his legs is almost simultaneous with his eyes when he sees that hole. And it is a thing of beauty to watch.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he gets into that second level. And generally speaking, he's gone. Let's take a look at our American Airlines BCS rankings. And, of course, Alabama, they're #1, and they're #1 for good reason. They are undefeated. They will play Florida, of course, for the Southeastern Conference Championship. Oklahoma and Texas will have one another. USC just hanging around in 5th position. They're likely headed for the Rose Bowl. They play UCLA today. And Utah, undefeated and really untalked about.
No, not a lot of people are talking about it because they're not in a BCS conference. They played a good schedule, and they played tough football all year, squeaked out a couple wins, especially the one against Oregon State, the one against TCU. But you have to say, the Big 12 South and the SEC, those were the power areas in college football this year. No argument.
No question about it. Here's Quentin Richardson coming back with a kick. Gets the outside. Might have a little room. 30-35 to the 40 to the 45 and out of bounds. Big run back by Quentin Richardson. Well, we talk about the BCS. And tomorrow night, you can be there live for the first show that breaks down the new BCS standings, the official BCS rating show. Find out who earned themselves an invite to a BCS bowl game, the official BCS rating show. Tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. It happens right after the Kansas State-Oregon basketball game. Check your local listings for the start time in your area.
Well, you keep seeing
Javid Best with 14 carries for 133 yards. He needs 171, remember, to be the leader in the Pac-10 Conference.
Might have a hard time getting there if Washington keeps giving Cal short fields.
Yeah, that's right. As Fouch rolls out on a bootleg and throws underneath to his tight end. That is Middleton, and Middleton will pick up about 7. It's been a tough day so far for Ronnie Fouch.
Well, you're going to see Trevor Guyton come in and knock this ball as Ronnie Fouch tries to get rid of it. And a really nice job by Hagan just turning around and making the interception. And there you see Fouch telling him what happened. He's saying, you know, that wasn't my fault that that ball was a duck. Guyton hit it.
3 of 7 for 17 yards for Fouch. It's been a tough day all the way around on the defensive side for the Washington Huskies and on the offensive side. Other than that, they've played pretty solid. Here's Griffin. And he's going to be stopped short of the first down at the 45-yard line. Anthony Felder again. Anthony Felder has spent as much time in the Washington backfield as Griffin has.
Yeah, this Cal defense really gets after it. I feel for Ronnie Fouch. He just simply has not gotten the job done in his 8 starts, and it's really hard without experiencing a lot of success. Very difficult for a football player in general, especially a quarterback, to develop the confidence necessary to lead the team and play that position. If you don't have success, it's hard to have confidence.
So now 3rd down, they need 3. I would have to think this is 2-down territory. Fouch going to throw. Now he looks to the outside, can't do it. Now he runs, get the first down, 45, and slides down at the 42. Royal Williams was ready to decapitate him, and now a late flag comes in.
Well, they're going to say Warrior Williams went for the head of Ronnie Fouch. Not sure how late Ronnie Fouch was on the slide, or if Warrior Williams had some nefarious intent going after him. There you see the slide. The knee's not down before he gets hit, but they'll probably try to say helmet to helmet. Pretty dangerous play by Warrior Williams.
And there is a Husky down. It was marginal. I certainly don't think it was done with intent. It is Ronnie Fouch who's down for the Washington Huskies. And Fouch is sitting up.
And it's going to be Taylor Bean, the redshirt freshman out of Vancouver, Washington, who will come in. His first action was mopping up the game against UCLA a few weeks back. He's 0 for 2 with an interception in his career. And there you see Fouch. He got hit on the shoulder, but like we were talking about earlier, Barry, his head hit the ground, and that's where the contact is. And he does look a little groggy getting off the field. See him talking to the senior Johnny Curtin as he leaves the field. And there's the man that delivered the blow that led to the blow to the head against the ground, Warrior Williams, who's been taken out of the game.
So a first down after all of that at the 27-yard line, and Bean will be the quarterback. Taylor Bean out of Vancouver, Washington, a freshman. And this is a very, very tough chore for him. Gave this to Griffin, and Griffin's not going to get anything. Maybe a yard. Stacked up in the middle by Derek Hill, another of those McClymonds graduates you talked about. They tend to Fouch. I've had to take that test.
I didn't know you played football, Barry.
I didn't. Second down 9. And a fumble again. Ball loose. Polk lost the ball. And he gets on it. But only gained about a yard. Now it's going to be 3rd and long.
That was one of the funniest bounces I've ever seen in my life. George Polk basically chasing that ball around, wanted to get something out of the play because it looked like the end around was set up to get some yardage, but Polk hits the ball off his knee, and instead of just falling on it, chases it around, finally makes the decision to fall on it, falls forward for about a yard. Look at that ball.
So now it's 3rd down and long along the line. They need 8 yards. Taylor Bean in his first passing situation. And the Bears come with a 4-man rush. Good protection. Bean throws, intercepted. Picked off by Hagan, his 2nd interception. And Bean threw it right to him. I don't know what to say now. A late flag. Probably going to go against California. We'll see. Maybe not.
I think it is going to be celebration on Darian Hagan, who's played with a lot of energy in this game. They said his energy's been up and down all season, but really having a field day in this first half against Washington. The young man out of Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles, California, son of the star quarterback in Colorado, his dad, Darian.
Personal foul. Number 76, unnecessary roughness on Washington.
Oh, there you go.
First down.
Yeah, I saw there were some words exchanged.
That's on Jordan White Frisbee. I guess it wasn't that much celebration.
Just a frustration penalty, I'm sure.
There you see Hagan kind of playing it slow, and then he recognizes where Bean wants to go with the ball and just backs into the route, jumps and makes a very athletic, physical interception. Great job by Hagan in the recognition there in the zone. He was sitting down and then drifted back right into the side of Bean. Kind of baited the young quarterback, Taylor Bean, who doesn't have a lot of experience. Great play by Hagan and a learning experience for Taylor Bean.
And there's still a discussion going on down around the 18-yard line where the flag was thrown. And this is just a calm down kind of discussion.
Well, they have the 2 captains out there. That's Mack and Butler, and they were talking about just relaxing in.
Coming up at halftime, of course, Mike Goldberg, DeMarco Farr will be in the studio, give you all the scores, all the highlights on this busy final regular season weekend of college football. You can still text them. That was Jack Folliard, incidentally, one of the really good referees here in the Pac-10 Conference, talking to both captains, just saying, come on now.
And that's a good thing to do, you know, make the players responsible. Talk to those seniors, talk to those captains, and get everybody on the same page about how they want this football game played.
Green in the ball game now for the first time. Longshore throws to Green. Green on the first down. And get it up to the 45-yard line. Mason Foster makes the play, and that was just pitch and catch.
And that's all scheme. You look at those situations when a running back splits out wide and how he's played, usually by the safety, and if the safety's 10 yards off, why not throw the guy a hitch? That's a first down every time as long as the running back can make a catch. And Vereen is a pretty good receiver. That's his 25th reception of the season. He's done a great job, and Javed Best has led this team in receiving with 27 receptions coming into this game. So very versatile Cal running backs as always.
Longshore going to go up, looking for it all. Throws deep, and Boateng can't quite hang on. Pretty good ball. Hit Boateng in the hands, just maybe about a foot too long.
Well, Boateng didn't really sell out for that ball. I think it kind of shocked him how close that ball was. Looked like it was going to be overthrown, and then Boateng really had a chance to get it. He's a transfer from Florida. Probably got a big senior year coming up. This is a Cal receiving corps that is waiting for the big star to emerge. It hadn't quite happened yet, but they've all been pretty productive.
Yeah, Jeff Tedford talked particularly about Varan Tucker, JC transfer, and that's a tough transition to make. There's a quick screen this time to Ross, and Ross will get to midfield. They'll pick up 5. Rory Fulgerson on the tackle at the Washington sideline.
You know, you talk about that JC adjustment, and we see it all the time in the Pac-10, and some guys flourish and some really don't. A couple of JC quarterbacks that played in the California State Championship going against each other this year in the Pac-10, and Kevin Kraft, who has really had a tough year at UCLA, and Jeremiah Masoli, who has really come on to be a great leader at Oregon running the football. Those guys faced each other in the state championship and JC ball last year, and both are starting in the Pac-10 this year.
That's right. There's a give to Vereen again, and this time he is really cracked right at the line of scrimmage. Foster, the first man to him, and Chris Stevens mopping up. So the Bears will have to give it up here.
And we've seen physical play from the Cal linebackers, but definitely from the UW linebackers today. Really playing with a sense of purpose and with excitement and emotion. Donald Butler, Tuiasosopo, Foster, and Stevens, all four of those young gentlemen really putting it out there. I don't know if I'd call them gentlemen with the way they're playing today.
Huskies didn't have enough bodies on the field. Now they get it right. And here's Anger's kick, a short kick. Somebody might have even got a piece of that, I'm not sure. And it is going to land somewhere around the 32-yard line. That is a punt that Anger would love to have back. 20-yard punt. Somebody got a hand on it. Well, let's take a look in the trenches. That's brought to you by World of Warcraft, and the Bears getting the best of it clearly.
What's up? Well, there's Mohammed. We were talking about Zach Fallen. We featured him before the game. He might be one of Cal's great linebackers of all time, right up there with Hardy Nickerson and Scott Fujita. I mean, this is a guy that'll go down in Cal lore as he plays his final home game today at Memorial Stadium. But this Mohammed kid is pretty fun to watch.
Yeah,
Williams
he is.
and Felder and the guys behind him. It's a great group.
Got to watch him for another couple of years, too. Here's Bean's first completion of the day, the good one. It'll be good for 3 yards. 1:27 remaining to be played in the half. And California is going to call a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
I feel like they think they can get the ball back. This Washington offense has not done much. Very limited amount of success here in the first half for the Dogs. So the Golden Bears think they can get the ball back and do a little something. It'll be interesting if they bring out Longshore or Riley to run that 2-minute drill.
Yeah, it will be. 26 plays, 41 yards for the Washington Huskies. And Ty Willingham struggling through this game much as he did all season long. And now, of course, the speculation is not about Ty's job, because that was decided many weeks ago. It's about who's going to take over, and it does appear that Steve Sarkisian will take over the head coaching job in Seattle.
Very interested to see how that's going to play out. Sarkisian's never been a head coach. He is a coordinator, and he definitely is a charismatic guy. And that's, I think, what Washington wants. They want somebody to go and really endear themselves to that area.
There's a drop play to Griffin. Griffin's going to get a first down across the 45-yard line. Now it might be Washington that calls timeout. Brett Johnson makes the stop and pick up a 13, biggest gain of the day on the ground for the Washington Huskies. And one of the Bears gets up slowly. It appears to be Derek Hill. Last 5 Husky coaches, with the exception of course, Don James and Rick Neuheisel. Jim Lambright did a pretty good job also at 44 wins and 25 losses, but Keith Gilbertson, he'll be unable to get it done. Another one of the good guys. And Ty Willingham, of course, has struggled mightily and culminated with this season where he is right now 0-11, and look at it, 0-12.
And there's still people in Seattle, probably unjustly, but still people in Seattle that blame Rick Neuheisel for this recent downfall of Huskies football. Certainly they need somebody to re-energize that area. Those people in Seattle just cannot reconcile a winless season. They can't handle it. They expect to win 10 games a year without a doubt.
And now we got words flying. I don't think that's what the flag is about, though.
Well, Rulon Davis getting riled up. And a lot of guys getting riled up on the lines.
Right of the snap, false start on the offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Michael Gottlieb called for moving before the snap. 1:16 remaining here in the first half. And of course, where the Huskies have really suffered is the inability to throw the ball down the field, and whether or not Bean is capable of doing that, we'll find out.
Well, these are meaningful snaps for Bean because it's a chance to show his future coach, all these guys, which looks like it's going to be Steve Sarkisian, what they can do on tape.
And a draw play again. Now this time, Griffin goes nowhere. He is stopped by Alualu. And the Huskies right back on top of the ball here. The clock continues to go inside a minute now. Bean straight back, throws it wide of his intended receiver, Aguilar, who was well covered by Sidquan Thompson.
Taylor Bean not tall, did a good job with those wristbands on the elbows, though. Looks pretty good. Only about 6'1".
He's not tall, but he's got good wristbands.
Yeah. Hey, look, you know, if you're not 6'6", a quarterback, you got to do something to look good. You notice the shorter quarterbacks, they always got a little style out there.
Exactly. Draw play again. And Griffin grabbed from behind, thrown down by Alualu again.
You know, I wasn't a very stylish player myself there. You know, I was one sock up, one sock down.
You had the 3-5. It was good. It was good. And you had big, broad shoulders, so you could get your name on the back of your jersey. I know SC didn't use names on the jersey.
No, it's about the name in front, but SC didn't have that either. Did you see on the back of Army's jerseys today?
I did, the camo.
Yeah, the beautiful camouflage that Army was wearing in that Army-Navy game, and it said honor country, honor duty country on the back instead of the names. It looked great.
But see, they should have had the green camouflage. That way you wouldn't be able to see it. Couldn't block it. Hey, let's take a minute, jump in the old Acura, taking our Acura drive around campus. Look out! Right on Sproul Plaza. Oh, my gosh.
Sproul Hall, there it is. A lot of skateboarders in that area. There's a camp in Ely, Barry. This is the most beautiful campus in the world. I got to say it. I mean, I just love coming up here. But, you know, we didn't show the top dog. Where's the hot dog stand?
I don't know.
Where's La Burrito? Where's Fat Slice Pizza?
Come on, let's jump in the Acura, and we'll run on over to Top Dog.
Where's Kip's? Where's Blake's on Telegraph?
Well, remember, Thompson returned to punt 40 yards a little while ago. He did not. That should be a live ball, actually.
Seemed like he got out of the way. That was Chris Stevens who was down there, who kind of seemed to bonk into him a little bit and then down the ball. That pretty confusing punt play there.
Sure was. Actually, I would have thought that would have drawn a flag because he was interfered with. Here it is right here.
There you go. They're saying that he was blocked into him.
There was nobody there. There's nobody there. Nobody blocked him into him.
Thompson did not touch the ball, though.
No, he didn't.
Did a great job of getting out of the way of the ball. Sidquan's always had very good body control, even as a true freshman when he had to play, kind of thrown into the fire his first year here at Cal, and he's become quite a player, one of the better corners in the Pac-10.
Well, there are 33 seconds remaining in the ball game, and of course, when you got Javid Best lining up a tailback, 33 seconds is nothing.
And they still got Longshore out there to run the drill.
.33 seconds, of course, left in the first half. The ball's going to be spotted at the 11-yard line. And we're having a booth review, and while we do, World Financial Group asks, have you reviewed your finances lately? World Financial Group, your dreams, our strategies.
This shouldn't take too long because it was obvious that Thompson, unless it hit him here.
Well, he certainly wasn't blocked into him.
That's where they ran into each other. Great job of keeping his eyes on the ball by Sidquan. They want to see if it hit his hand, and it didn't look like it did, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, it was.
It hit Stevens' hand for sure.
We're going to look at it right here. It's hard to tell.
Nah, I don't think it hit him.
Inconclusive, anyway. Well, Ty, when he got this job, looked like a much younger man, I must tell you.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Ty deserves a beach somewhere.
Yeah, he does.
No question about it. He deserves a beach and a little bit of time off to kind of reassess things, because he has been beat up almost mercilessly by the media in the Northwest. And, you know, Ty knows it. Ty's been around a long time, and you don't coach at Notre Dame and get fired from that job and not understand the nuances of being a head coach in college football and the negative side of it, and really beat up in the Northwest in a brutal way almost for his coaching style and the lack of success that he's had at Washington. And Ty knows you go winless at a place like Washington, and you're not only going to get fired, but you're going to get pretty beat up.
Yeah. His job at best. He cuts it up the middle, tries to get to the outside. Look out! He's the 30, 35, 40. Got one man to beat. Steps inside. Now takes it outside and stepped out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. And that's going to be enough to move him into the Pac-10 leadership amongst rushers. What a run.
Move his team into scoring position as well right here at the end of the half with 20 seconds left. Nate Williams ended up finally making the play. This guy just eats up angles. He's Pac-Man for angles. And again there, you see Barry really pushing and selling the front side on the zone, and then winds it all the way back and uses his speed. Incredible stop move. And he's moving around on the sideline as he's apt to do. Beautiful run.
Longshore going to throw, does, threw it behind the intended receiver, Jeremy Ross. It'll stop the clock with 16 seconds remaining. Got a good look right there at Kevin Riley, and Riley has not been playing. Here's best numbers. He needed 171. He's got 186 and 3 touchdowns in the first half. That's not bad. But Kevin Riley, as you said, didn't do anything wrong. It's just that Jeff Tedford wanted to give his senior, Nate Longshore, who has really suffered through the last couple of years, injuries, and then, of course, being passed in the pecking order by Kevin Riley. Wants to give him some time, and this is his last home game. He steps up, he throws over the middle. It is caught at the 10-yard line. And it was Varan Tucker on the catch, and he gets out of bounds at the 6.
Jeff Tedford was talking to us, Barry, about Varan Tucker and saying that he could be that guy that arises, one of those JC guys that's made a great adjustment. El Camino Junior College in Torrance, California. John Featherstone puts out a lot of guys.
And the clock stops on a spike by Longshore. 9 seconds. Here's another look.
Well, Longshore again, something he didn't do a lot of last year, stepping into that throw and delivers it very well to Tucker, who slides down and secures that football. Nice play, and Cal's got a shot. Mesford Forrester couldn't do much to defend on that play, even though he was right there.
Got 9 seconds, possibly 2 plays. Straight back, Longshore throws over the middle, caught by Mora, touchdown Cal. And that is Longshore's 50th career touchdown pass.
Well, that's a good feeling for Nate Longshore. No question about that. We were talking about the last couple of years and what a tough time he's had, and the man that replaced him didn't really take over the job in an absolutely excellent way. But Jeff Tedford felt like he was the guy to go with, and there you see Longshore with the touchdown, and Tedford happy for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jeff was really feeling kind of bad for Nate Longshore because it did not go well for him the last couple of years, and even though he's won a great majority of the games that he's started, he's one of the winningest quarterbacks all time at Cal, oddly enough. Let's go to the sidelines for Jim Watson. You got more on Nate Longshore, Waddy.
Yeah, that's a nice moment for him. Barry, you live up here. You know this kid has been, boy, real high and real low. And last year, a lot of people around here unjustly, you know, they blamed him for the collapse late in the season, but he's always had the good public face. And remember, Jeff Tedford yesterday told us, hey, this guy's been a great teammate all along, and sure he wants to play, but he supported Riley. And by the way, for Nate Longshore, that was his 50th career touchdown pass. So a real nice moment on senior day.
Yeah, it really was. And he had 18 career wins as a starting quarterback. That's a big number.
And we've really seen him grow up from when he was a freshman here at Cal. He's gone through a lot in his life since he's been here at Cal, not to mention just all the football stuff. He's gotten married, lost his father, really done a lot of things here at Cal. 325 yards in the first half for this Cal offense, and they are rolling. And Longshore doing a great job running that 2-minute drill.
Took him 28 seconds to go 89 yards. Tavecchio line drive this time, and being chased and finally picked up. Falling on it immediately was Tripper Johnson. So there'll be 4 seconds left, and I would strongly doubt that the Huskies will try to do anything serious here.
This is ball 43-yard line. Washington first and 10.
31-0 California here in the first half. This crowd just kind of sitting on its hands, but I guess you can't really question that.
Well, they're doing what we're doing, enjoying a beautiful day in Strawberry Canyon for football.
Well, there is no prettier place. You touched upon it. Here's Griffin, and he's going to be stopped after a gain of about 2. And that's the way the first half will come to an end. So California doing absolutely everything right in the first half, and Washington, unfortunately, doing virtually nothing right.
Well, it looks a lot like the Washington team we've seen all year, except not as competitive offensively in this game.
All right, right now, let's send it down to Jim Watson for a freecreditreport.com sideline report. Waddy.
Barry talking to Jeff Tedford yesterday. He said he wanted to run the ball coming in. The passing game started to be more consistent in the second half, but Javid Best is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's had some big runs so far. There's no question. We can get him into some open space. He does a nice job.
How about defensively? Pitching a shutout, you knocked their quarterback out, and 4 turnovers. Could you ask more from that unit?
Very solid first half. We got to play all 4 quarters, though. It's very important we come out strong in the second half.
Appreciate the time. We'll see you later. Jeff Tedford on his way into the Cal locker room. By the way, guys, the 2 turnovers that Cal got in the first half, that takes them now to 23 for the season, the most since 1953. Right now, we send you to our college football Saturday studio for the DirecTV halftime show with Mike Goldberg and DeMarco Farr.
And we welcome you back to Pac-10 College Football Saturday, presented by Acura. We're here at Memorial Stadium in Berkeley, where California has had its way with the Washington Huskies. They lead it 31-0 as we prepare to start the second half. Barry Tompkins, Petros Papadakis alongside, and just when you think it can't get any worse, Ronnie Fouch will not be back for Washington.
Well, they're going to go with a quarterback who has relatively no experience, Taylor Bean, and it's been a tough year all the way for Washington quarterbacks. This is the 3rd-string guy, first Locker, then Fouch, now Bean. Without Locker, this is a different Washington team, and this is a Cal defense that was licking their chops before the game, caused a lot of turnovers in the first half, and really got after Fouch. Now they're going to have a chance to get after Bean.
Well, we talked about Javid Best at the beginning of this program, and of course, to say that he didn't disappoint is really to make a great understatement. But boy, this guy is a joy to watch. So California will get the football to start the second half. Ballman will kick it away for the Washington Huskies. And this is going to be Jeremy Ross at the 5-yard line. And they fake the reverse, and Ross takes it back just across the 15-yard line to about the 17-yard line. And just a couple of moments ago, this freecreditreport.com sideline report, Jim Watson with Ty Willingham. Waddy.
31-0, but Tyrone Willingham is one of the most positive people I've ever met. What'd you say to the kids in the locker room?
Well, the first thing is our defense, you have to give them some applause for what they did. They kept us in there for most of it. Got a little weak toward the end. So I'm telling them to come back out, give us another great half. See if we can put a shutout on them and get something going. Then from our offense, we got to step up. We got too many guys coming off blocks. And it's regardless of the scheme, you got to do the first thing first, which is the basic. We got to run it, block it, throw it, and catch it.
Ty, your last half as the head coach of the University of Washington, any feelings, any thoughts?
Well, just disappointment in what I didn't accomplish. But if we can come back out and battle, then I'll say to myself, the guys believed, they kept fighting, and they didn't give up.
Thank you for your time, as always.
Thank you.
That was Javid Best, the ball carrier on first down for the Bears. And for the first time today, the Huskies stopping for a loss of a yard.
Mason Foster with a pretty physical hit on Best, and there you see Ty on the sideline. These will be his final 2 quarters at Washington, and giving a nice interview to Watson. And just got to say, it's just tough to see Ty going through this. Tough to see the University of Washington going through this. This is just not what you'd expect from the Huskies program, and Ty knows it better than us.
2nd on 11. This is Best again. Best trying to get the outside. Look out. Best to 30, 35. Up the middle of the field. Still at his feet. Midfield. He's gone. 30, 20 to the 10. 84-yard touchdown run.
Mary, I believe you just said he was a joy to watch, and that was before that touchdown run. This guy has got to be the fastest, most explosive back in the history of California football. I mean, he's faster and more explosive than Lynch. Got to be faster than Muncie. There you see running right through Nate Williams and Foster. The guy, I mean, he throttles down at the 15-yard line and nobody's 10 yards near him. I mean, the guy is absolutely a burner.
17 carries.
He's faster than Chuck Muncie, right?
Oh, yeah. Not as big. Not as big.
And no glasses.
And no glasses, that's right. I mean, the guy is really special. Try for point this time is up and good by Jordan Kay, who began the season as the first-string kicker for California, was replaced, and Javid Best is just putting on a show. College Football Saturday is presented by Acura. Visit shopacura.com during the Drive Home for the Holidays event. Acura. Advance. And brought to you in part by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. And the First Down Markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Shop at the company that supports college football, Overstock.com. At home with Theo. Well, here in Berkeley, it's been the Javid Best show. 17 carries, 269 yards. And 4 touchdowns. California drives today, 2 plays, 4 plays, 2 plays, 3 plays, 5 plays, 2 plays.
And we'll see how long Tedford leaves Javid Best in this football game with the way he's running right now and the confidence that he has and the way he's running to score. It looks like he's not even seeing the Washington defenders. He's just seeing that goal line. With the way that Best has played in this football game, he could break a record if they keep giving him the ball and they keep giving him that long field. I mean, he'll take it all the way because he's that fast.
Here's a short end over end kick, and it's picked up by the up man Homer will get it across the 25 to 26. Pretty good coverage on special teams by California. Let's take a look back at the first half, and Javid Best was sensational in the first half.
Yeah, he's a stick of dynamite in this game, and he's been this all season. That was his first TD. That one he didn't have to jump, but he looked cool jumping. And this is all with a dislocated elbow. And then setting up the last score of the first half was this run, bending it all the way back and switching the ball with the stop moves. And then we just saw that beautiful 80-plus yard run to begin the second half. I mean, he got to be tired. 180-yard run in a game. I mean, you're breathing. You say, hey, put somebody else in. You know, I'm fine. You know, I did my thing. But Best isn't done.
So here's Taylor Bean rolling out, and he'll tuck it away and try to run with it. He'll get across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll pick up about 6 yards. And then, of course, he started the second half out with this one.
Well, and this is a zone play again, and that time, instead of cutting it back, Best takes it up the field and all the way to the edge and then back across, just breaking tackles the whole way through. And we talked about it, Barry, track guys that want to be football players. And what's even worse is football players that want to be track guys. Those guys are really ugly on the track. Javid Best is really both.
He really is. There's Griffin, and Griffin a little close to first down. Saquon Thompson trying to tackle a football there.
Nice physical run by Willie Griffin.
It's going to be enough for first down for the Huskies.
You know, it'll be really interesting to see if Steve Sarkisian, SC offensive coordinator, he's got his hands full right now with USC versus UCLA, but SC's offensive coordinator probably, if you listen to all the speculation, and it seems pretty solid, is going to be the Washington head coach. What kind of offense is he going to bring to Seattle? What will he do with Jake Locker? How will these running backs be used? How will it change?
Play fake. Bean will go up, hit as he throws, and over the head of Michael Gottlieb, the intended receiver. But again, pretty good shot put on him by Zach Follett. Marcus Ezef was defending.
Zach Follett plays with a lot of aggression, and he plays with a lot of speed, and the poor young quarterback, Taylor Bean, had to feel it right there as Follett wants to put on a show in his final game in Strawberry Canyon.
Been quite a player for his 4 years here. Here comes Follett again. They pick him up this time, though, and Bean gets away from the rush and picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards before Michael Muhammad runs him out. First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Shop, the company that supports college football. Overstock.com
at home with the O.
Ah, you see, the timing was off.
Well,
I stopped on the wrong.
Yeah, you change your cadence. Of habit,
I know you are.
So are those guys.
Third down now. And about 6. Being the throw, does so, has a man, Goodwin, but it's going to be short of the first down. At about the 45-yard line, Marcus Ezef runs him out, and the Huskies, I would doubt, would go for it, although they seem to be hanging around. They will not go for it. They will punt.
Well, the Husky offensive line doing a great job of just getting to the legs of Zach Follett and getting his hands down so that throw could be made to Goodwin. Follett was bearing down and looked like he had a great shot to knock that ball down, but he got cut down at the legs and had to protect his feet, put his hands down.
Ballman will do the punting. Thompson, the deep man. Twisty kick. Thompson could have a chance here, too. Right back up the middle he comes. Tries to step to the outside. Gets by the first wave of tacklers. Stays on his feet. Almost broke that. Got to the 31-yard line. A nice return by Sidquan Thompson. 37-yard punt and a 14-yard return by Thompson. California will have it and have the lead by 38 when we come back. 38-0. California leads Washington. They'll have the football at the 31-yard line. Let's take a look at our best buy. Best connection happened right near the end of the first half. Nate Longshore to Cameron Mora for the touchdown. That is our best buy. Best connection.
Nate Longshore still quarterbacking the Golden Bears in this his final game here at Memorial Stadium, and having some success here along with the rest of the Cal offense.
Javid Best will still be out there too. I suspect there's a pitch to Best. And Best trying to get to the corner, and again he does get to the corner, pops it outside this time, and it's a lousy 10 yards.
That's it? Come on, Javid, you're better than that. He's fun to watch, isn't he?
He really is. They give him 8 that time and even get 10.
Well, the Cal record for rushing in a game is 283 yards.
By Jerry Drew back in 1954. Who could forget?
Certainly not me. I'm all over it.
Flag is down this time, and Best comes right up the middle, pops to the outside, now goes right back up the middle once again, tries to spring it to the outside and gets it to the 28-yard line. This one may be for naught, though. 34 yards, and that would be enough for the California record, but let's see about the flag. Bears walking backward, appears to be against Cal.
Well, Javid Best right now, even if this does come back, just running with supreme confidence.
There is no flag.
Legal. First down.
Well, that 34 yards will put Javid Best over the 300-yard mark. It will be a California record. Now you got to start thinking, he has 311 yards. Now you got to start thinking about the Pac-10 record, which is 357 yards by Ruben Mays.
Well, they're hugging him on the sideline. He might go back in and get it. You know, I'm not sure. He's running right now like Like, I've never seen a guy run at Cal. We've seen some great runners at Cal, and this Washington defense is better than this. This guy's just having one of those days.
He's done it in 34 minutes, remember. Longshore going to throw. Got a man, incomplete. Good job defensively by Quinn Richardson.
Richardson, who's going to be around for a long time. He's going to be one of those guys that going to be playing for Steve Sarkisian, it looks like. Just a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, the Cal coaches talked about him. Said they liked the way he played.
There's a lot of young guys that have played all year and had a lot of experience and not a lot of success, no question, but individual success and a lot of playing time is what you can say for a lot of these young guys that played for the Huskies this year and Ties last year.
Here's a give to Vereen. Vereen comes right up the middle, tries to pop to the outside and gets it down to the 13-yard line. We'll jump off the track right now, take you back to the studio for a game break with Mike Goldberg. Goldie.
Barry, thank you very much. We head to the Rose Bowl. UCLA struck first, but here come the number 5 USC Trojans. Joe McKnight finds the corner of the end zone, a 12-yard touchdown run. It's 7-7 in the first, and keep in mind, both teams wearing their home jerseys. Back to you.
Both of them.
It seems like it, and that's a nice tradition. I mean, USC and UCLA shared the Coliseum up until the early 80s and would always wear the home-and-home jerseys when they played each other. It's nice to see it again.
Longshore straight back to pass, goes to the corner of the end zone, incomplete, well covered, but they're going to get a flag. A little too well covered. Quinn Richardson that time was on the back of the intended receiver, Laurel Cunningham.
Pass interference on the defense, number 28. Foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball is placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
So the Bears will have it at the 2-yard line.
And it really looks like Jeff Tedford is trying to get Nate Longshore another touchdown pass. It's a pretty well thrown ball, but the hand right in the back of Cunningham. Pretty good play by Quentin Richardson. A little close and deserving of the flag, but that's good coverage too.
Yeah.
You know, the difference between good coverage and a penalty is usually just the flag.
That's right. That's right. Bears go with 2 tight ends here. 3 tight ends, actually. And again, Longshore going to throw. Got a man and just slightly overthrew Talcoa in the end zone.
We talked about this all year, seeing quarterbacks throw the ball to running backs, and especially when you got a guy with a big neck roll like Tafo'o, you got to put it right on the hands. I mean, you got to put it 1 foot in front of the numbers, and that's a play that a lot of receivers can make, and a few tight ends out there. Definitely Gronkowski in Arizona in the Pac-10 can make that play, but there's not a lot of fullbacks that can make that play. They're just too swole, Barry. Their chest is too big. Their triceps are too big to reach out and get that one.
Pitch to Vereen, and Vereen's going to be able to walk it. Touchdown Bears. Well, the Bears making this look pretty easy so far today, and you got to credit that offensive line. And then, of course, give it up to the running backs. Job invested now for Vereen. Once they get it in the secondary, they make stuff happen.
Both running backs have looked good, and Ty Willingham hoping that his defense held on strong in the second half as that hope has fallen by the wayside.
Okay, the try for point. He drives it through. It's a 45-0 ball game.
That hope fell by the wayside when Best went for over 80 in the first try.
Yeah, that was enough to do it. We're coming back.
Here at Strawberry Canyon, Cal having their way with the Washington Huskies. Hats off this week. Barry has got to go to Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator, and now coach in waiting for the Oregon Ducks and what they did in the Civil War last week. Jeremiah Johnson with a career day. Just an unbelievable showing by the Ducks against what is a very physical Beavers defense. But you give Kelly a couple weeks to figure it out. He'll figure it out.
This is Walt Winter trying to do some business and running laterally and going to get it done. He stopped at the 35-yard line.
Did you think Oregon State was a team of destiny going into that game? With all the last-second victories they pulled out during the year, I thought Oregon State was headed to the Rose Bowl for sure.
I did too, and playing at home. But that's such an emotional game. You know, honestly, I have to say, I love all the rivalry games. But if I had to pick one in the Pac-10, that would be the one I'd pick.
Well, you've done them all, and absolutely, that is one that is filled with I don't know, it's a real anger, and not the punter in this game, but real anger in that game between those two teams, and they're pretty close to each other.
Yeah, and it's an anger without a hostility, if that makes any sense. You know, people really care. They care a lot. I bet Mike Goldberg cares. Let's go to the studio for a game break.
I definitely do care, so let's go to the Rose Bowl and talk about it. Bruins after the Joe McKnight touchdown with 3 and out, and the Trojans pounce. This time, Mark Sanchez. It's Damian Williams, 12-yard score, 14-7 USC. Sanchez, nearly perfect so far today at the Rose Bowl. Barry.
All right, thanks, Goldie. And we've talked in glowing terms about Mark Sanchez, too. I think he's going to be a big-time quarterback. Skylar Fancher left a little prematurely.
And now that we're into the third quarter here, it looks like the UW players are trying to find their spirit. It's tough to blame them for losing touch with it. These Huskies have done a good job playing hard throughout this losing streak, but along with their coach and the entire staff, I'm sure they are physically and emotionally spent.
To say that it's a tough year is really to make an understatement for these Washington Huskies, because they started out with high hopes. Blitz comes, and the pass is caught by Griffin, but he's not going to get much, about 2.
And they're being very conservative with the play calling for the young quarterback, Taylor Bean, the starter for the Dogs. Ronnie Fouch going into his 8th start in this football game, got knocked out where he was trying to slide, took a big hit. And now the redshirt freshman Bean is out there just trying to manage this offense.
Straight back, has to step up. Now he'll run to the 40 and slips a tackle, gets the 45 and picks up the first down. Nice effort that time by Bean.
That was one of those weird moments where Bean kind of braced himself for contact with Warren Williams, and Warren Williams just kind of whiffed on him. Here you're going to see Bean looks pretty comfortable running the football here in the second half, and he takes off and feels pretty good about it. You see Follett looming in the background, and Follett ends up making the play, but he ran right by Warren Williams, and he was pretty geeked about it, too.
First down at the 46-yard line. Daly is the running back, incidentally. Now Griffin's back. The inside handoff to Goodwin, and Goodwin steps out of one tackle and gets close to midfield. In fact, it'd be across midfield at about the 49-yard line, a little short of the 49-yard line. On the stop for the Bears, Michael Kendricks.
An offensive coordinator for the Huskies, Tim Lopano, in his 4th year with the Huskies, has been an assistant at Cal, Washington State, and Oregon State. A couple 4 years in the NFL. He's mixing it up a little bit here in the second half and running some different things, trying to help out his freshman quarterback.
Second down and 4. Bean put it up. This time he has no time. Now he runs out of time. Look out behind. Throws underneath a one-hopper just as he was getting dismantled by Cameron Jordan.
That's one of those weird moments where the quarterback saw the guy coming from behind. Bean actually had his head on a swivel and saw Cameron Jordan, who's about 300 pounds, barreling down on him, and was able to get rid of that ball and put the Huskies in a manageable third down situation.
4. Look at Cameron Jordan. He started when Rulon Davis went down and became the Pac-10 Conference Defensive Player of the Week.
We all remember his dad, Steve, the NFL tight end with the Vikings and the Cardinals. Good tight end, catch a ball.
Played for 13 years. Screen this time to Gottlieb and a first down at the 41-yard line. That was a well-executed play. Cameron Jordan runs the play down from behind.
And And right now, Lopano doing a great job of mixing it up, getting that first down, finding a way to move the ball with the inexperienced quarterback and a beleaguered offense. And a good job by Gottlieb, who's the captain of this team, to physically take that ball up the field and step through the tackle of Saquon Thompson, who's a pretty good tackling quarterback.
Ball at the 41-yard line. Bean will go out of the gun once more. And a pitch this time to Griffin, and the Bears were waiting for it. Saquon Thompson jumps on his back.
Told you he was a good tackler.
Yeah.
Also good at growing hair.
Yeah, of course, in the game Thursday night, didn't they? One of the players from Rutgers lost a dread, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe it was one of the guys from Rutgers. The dread came right out. He was tackled by the dread on a long run. It's not a good trend to start in college football, the dread tackle. We might see that go along with the horse collar.
That's right.
15 yards. You're not going to outlaw the dreads.
And this time a perfect ball thrown to Aguilar for a first down at the 30-yard line. And the Huskies suddenly got a little drive going here.
It seems to me like Bean is playing pretty loose here right now, and that was a very impressive throw. That's what you call the old big boy out. You got to have a big boy arm. You got to put your big boy pants on to make this play. Now, he did run into it, but stops his feet and really delivers that ball well to Aguilar, the freshman out of Denver, Colorado. Well-executed play, like you said, Barry, for the Dogs, and they're moving the ball now.
Ball right at the 30-yard line. Ninth play of this drive upcoming. And a give this time on a reverse to Goodwin. Goodwin will step out of bounds after a gain of about 6, but flag is down.
Goodwin, the only Washington receiver who went into this season with the reception, and they were expecting all these young, skilled players, running backs and wide receivers, to develop around Jake Locker as the season went on. But when Jake Locker went down in the 4th game of the year, none of that came down to fruition.
So the discussion about this flag continues.
Holding on the offense, number 30. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
They got Paul Homer on the hold, and so the Huskies will back up.
Two first names for Paul Homer, Barry.
That's right, I know.
Which one would you choose for your first name, Paul or Homer?
Homer is kind of a cool name, don't you think?
I always thought so. Unless you're an announcer, you know?
Yeah, then you can't be.
No, you don't want to be a Homer.
First down now and 17. And here's a flea flicker, and Bean going to throw it to the end zone, and he threw it absolutely into as much traffic as he could possibly find.
But Goodwin had a shot at it.
He did.
He really did, right in between Saquon Thompson and Esef, and it really was a catchable ball for Goodwin, but he wanted to throw it, there's no doubt. They ran the flea flicker, and he was going to throw that ball. It didn't matter if it was quadruple coverage. Throws it into double coverage, and Goodwin did have a shot. Nobody went up to get that ball at its highest point. If anybody did have their hands above their heads, they probably would have come down with it, defender or offensive player.
So he had a shot at it, but it was a 1-3 shot. Draw play this time, Griffin, nothing. Tyson Alualu, not fooled for an instant. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 15.
Good looking drive, but it certainly has stalled here on Cal's side of the field.
Straight back, Bean throws, and it is caught at the 4-yard line. A great grab that time by Charles Hawkins. And again, pretty good ball thrown by Bean.
Charles Hawkins, an experienced guy that hasn't had a grip of playing time this year, and Taylor Bean is, I don't want to say magic, but he's showing a little something out there. That's a great looking ball and a good looking catch by Hawkins, who jumps up and makes the play, and Washington's got it going right in front of Bernard Hicks. Good job by Beanie. He's showing a little something here, Bear.
6 of 11, 59 yards, and the Dogs have it first down and goal at the 4-yard line. Luke Kravitz lines up in the backfield now. And this is Kravitz. And Kravitz will get about a yard. Laurel Williams making sure he didn't go any further than that. So it'll be second down and goal. The ball at the 3-yard line.
And in the Ty Willingham era at Washington, he's really used the fullbacks in short yardage situations. To mixed reviews, you got Kravitz back there without a fullback. He's just back there as a single back.
14th play of the drive. Kravitz again. Kravitz pushes the pile, gets it down inside the 2-yard line. It's going to be third down and goal.
Bet you they give it to Kravitz again.
Words being exchanged on the goal.
Well, he's getting positive yards. You see the anger down there between the defensive and offensive line. Mika Kane, very unhappy, lost his helmet, talking to the official. And it is third down. They'll go for the touchdown here.
Got 2 yards to go, and now they're going to have to call a timeout.
They'll go for it on fourth down if they don't get it here.
So a timeout on the field. Ty Willingham just trying to urge his team to get one in here. They trail 45-0. Let's go to the sideline. Jim Watson. Waddy.
Barry, it only took the Romans 9 years to build the original Coliseum. It's already taken Cal 6 years of talk, tree protesters, environmental impact reports, and fundraising just to finally get the wrecking ball rolling, but construction ready to start on the new remodel, west side of Memorial Stadium, and also they're going to put in a student-athlete high-performance center. Total ticket, $123 million, but the good news, 100% taken care of by the donors. Right now, the site is undergoing archaeological testing. Barry, you've done games around here for a long time. Anything you want to tell us about before we unearth something embarrassing?
It might be me. I think that's the big problem. The archaeological find. The Miwoks. They might find the Miwoks here. Very possible.
I'm telling you, this is by far, I think, the most beautiful setting in college football. Without the remodel and without the very modern facilities, Cal has been able to recruit around Jeff Tedford and bring in big-time players to play big-time football. There you see the very famous Tightwad Hill. A lot of tightwads up there today.
Well, it's a great day to be up there. That could be downright treacherous when it rains.
We'll see what happens when they get that new facility in, but I know Jeff Tedford very relieved to finally get that done.
I think in the original Coliseum, the bids came in faster, too. Here's Bean. He's going to get in. Touchdown, Huskies.
And that's great confidence from the freshman quarterback and this entire offense. Getting the touchdown behind Taylor Bean. They loaded up the backfield with Paul Homer and Luke Kravitz behind him, an all-angry fullback backfield. And they fake the isolation play, the blast, and Bean comes out on the bootleg and is able to dive into the end zone, and you see his excitement scoring that touchdown. Still some emotion left in these Dogs.
Absolutely. So they get on the board. The try for point is up and good, and it's a 45-7 ball game. They used a lot of the clock. The flag is down. I think they're going to get Anthony Felder on a penalty. Running into the kicker will be the penalty. They'll probably assess it on the kickoff. So the Huskies get a little something. Well, at halftime of today's game, Dave Lally of Auburn, Washington, had the opportunity to participate in the $76,000 pass, punt, kick promotion that was sponsored by 76 Gasoline. Dave attempted to pass the football from the end zone, then punted from where the ball landed, and finally attempted to kick a field goal, but it was a long field goal. If he'd have done it, he would have won $76,000. He didn't win, but he was awarded 1 year's worth of free gasoline from Bill Brasher and Sid Thompson. 76 Gasoline, a proud sponsor of Pac-10 Athletics. 76, get the spirit. Well, the Washington band finally was something to holler about.
brought a lot of them.
Yeah. Why they turning their back on us?
I think they're playing for the alums.
I get it.
The Washington faithful that have made the trip.
And there, there is actually a whole section of Washington supporters.
They're still really into it in Seattle. I mean, they're almost watching this season with disgust is not the right word, but they're in awe. There's no question that the people that support Washington football are absolutely in awe of the lack of success of the Ty Willingham era, and whatever you want to say or attribute it to, you can't argue with what the record has been. It's been that kind of year.
Jeremy Ross on the kick return, and he is stacked up right as he got to the 20-yard line. We take him to the studio once more for another game break. Here's Mike Goldberg. Goldie.
The SEC Championship, Florida and Alabama, no Percy Harvin, no problem. Tim Tebow to David Nelson. And the Gators now lead in the second quarter, 17-4, 2 touchdowns on the day for the Heisman Trophy winner of a season ago, Tim Tebow. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Goldie. Tim Tebow making a little bit of noise in trying to pick up the Heisman Trophy for the second year in a row.
Well, he's had a lot more help this year, so his numbers have been down. But I'll tell you what, Barry, there's not a better leader and a more exciting football player to watch in the last decade, I think, than Tim Tebow. I mean, he's the entire package. He is the real deal in Florida.
Brock Manchin is now the California quarterback, gives off to Vereen. And Vereen will get it up short of the 25-yard line, pick up about 4 on the play. Manchin, redshirt freshman from Dallas, and a guy with a big upside, very highly recruited player. Participated in the Elite 11 quarterback camp.
Yeah, down there in Orange County, California. And pretty much if you go to the Elite 11 quarterback camp, which is run by Bob Johnson, Rob Johnson's dad, and Andy Bark, you're in pretty good shape. You're a big-time quarterback, and Manchin is one of those guys, 6'5". He's a big, long athlete, and Jeff Tedford's going to get those guys. He's going to get those recruits because of the quarterback pedigree that he has. I mean, he has really brought a lot of quarterbacks on and into the NFL.
There's a pitch to Vereen. Vereen trying to get to the edge, and he does get a great block that time from fullback Holly, and steps out of bounds across the 35, about the 37-yard line. He crunched Holly with that. Trevor Johnson made the stop.
Vereen's an explosive, shifty back in his own right, but next to Javed Best, he doesn't look that fast, but I'll tell you what, he is fast. He's a very good running back and a guy with a lot of future here at Cal, and if Best went down for some reason due to injury, they'd be very comfortable giving Vereen 20 carries, and the guy behind him, Slocum, is a pretty good back as well, but Javed Best is just far and above the rest of these guys. He has really been something, especially on this afternoon.
Let's say 311 yards rushing. That's pretty good. Flag falls before anything could happen.
Illegal substitution on the offense, breaking the huddle with 12 players. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Jeff Tedford's trying to get guys in and out of the game and putting some young dudes in, and a little bit of confusion in that huddle, especially with the freshman quarterback. That's to be expected here.
There's a look at Jeff Tedford. Jeff's not calling the plays this year, although he says, I'll call 8 to 10 a game. Play fake. Manchin going to throw. On the run, does throw. Throws it out of bounds. Intended receiver was Drew Glover.
You know, Barry, this year Cal celebrated the 50th anniversary of its last Rose Bowl team this season. Joe Kapp and all his 1958 teammates were honored. I love Joe Kapp, but can you believe that 50-year Rose Bowl drought for Cal, which is unbelievable? USC has played in 20 Rose Bowls, and it'll be 21 if the Trojans beat the Bruins today. I mean, that is a wild statistic, especially with the teams that Jeff Tedford has had here at Cal. You'd think the Rose Bowl is very attainable, and I think it will be in the future as well.
Absolutely. This is Slocum, and he gets a couple. Yeah, well, of course, remember, for so many years, the Pac-10 could only get one bowl representative. Mike White had a California team in 1975 that were co-champions of the Pac-10 conference, but they still didn't go to the Rose Bowl.
Well, and a couple of years back, let's not forget, Mac Brown did a pretty good job lobbying against the Bears, and ended up going to the Rose Bowl with Texas, and the Bears had to go to the Holiday Bowl, and I think they ran into a buzzsaw in Texas Tech that year.
I think
they did. And I don't think they were motivated for that game. Now, not Jeff Tedford's fault, but you know, those guys we did that last game here, and they were bent on the Rose Bowl. We did big game. They had Roses out. Everybody thought they were going, and they got to go a little further south to San Diego.
That's right. Here's Manchin on the quarterback draw play, and he'll get it to about the 42-yard line, but the Bears will have to give it up. Johnny Curtin makes the stop. Curtin, an interesting guy, too, started as a fullback on this team and is now going about 330 and playing down line.
And Johnny Curtin caught a pass last year in a win over Cal as the tight end, so he's been all over the place for Washington. A good senior for the Huskies.
And with that, we reach the end of the third quarter, and this game, the decision, of course, no longer in doubt. 1 quarter of football left in Tyrone Willingham's Washington career. We're coming back. Final quarter of play after this. We welcome you back to Pac-10 College Football Saturday, presented by Acura. Fog starting to settle in over the bay as you look out over the Berkeley Hills to the Golden Gate Bridge. Beautiful setting here at Strawberry Canyon, as Petros mentioned a little bit earlier. If there's a nicer setting in college football, find it for me.
I haven't seen it. University of Washington's pretty nice by the lake there.
Pretty nice. Here's Anger's punt. He drives this one.
In an angry way.
Aguilar at the 6-yard line. Steps out of a tackle. He gets it across the 15 to about the 16-yard line. Anthony Felder makes the stop. Well, we've seen some pretty good shots on the football field today. Let's take a look.
Speaking of anger, there was a lot of it coming from the Washington linebackers, Tuiasosopo and Butler. When they put that hit on Tad Smith, he laid down for a while. There's Follett doing it to Fouch, and that ball goes flying. That was an ugly hit. There's no question about that. By Warren Williams, that's the one that took Fouch out of the game. Foster getting involved on the other side of the ball. I mean, there's been a lot of passion out there. Certainly the Huskies have not folded it up against the Bears. They've really come with it and played with passion.
Yeah, they're playing hard. There's Griffin. He's grabbed right at the line of scrimmage by Zach Follett. Follett, a senior, so playing his last game here in Strawberry Canyon. And, Jeff Tedford staying with him.
Clovis, California, all Pac-10 last year. Really one of Cal's best defenders in a long time. And gets involved with the football, pick balls off, can block field goals, can run them back. Great inside, great in space. Changed his hair this year. I remember seeing him camp a couple years ago. He had a leopard print hairdo.
That's a good look. That's a good look. I've been thinking of doing that.
You know,
it
would work out for you.
I think so.
If Doug Collins can dye it blonde, you know.
My problem is I have to dye each individual hair.
Take a while.
Takes a while.
It could happen. There's no question. And Cal is really, Bob Gregory really left the starting defense in there. Muhammad, Warren Williams, Follett. We were just talking about the line is intact. Sitquan's still out there. So is Hagan. They're still out there running around here in the fourth quarter.
Bean straight back. Now he rolls away from pressure. A flag is down. And so is Bean, and so is the ball. Ryan Tolar fell on it for the Huskies. We'll see about the flags in the area where holding would normally be called. I would think whatever the penalty, it'll be refused
Holding
by the Bears.
on the offense, number 65. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Well, even though Tolar got called for the penalty, he did recover that ball. And Taylor Bean, with all that confidence coming off the last touchdown drive he orchestrated, maybe doing a little too much, holding on to the ball a little too long in that situation, and getting sacked and giving it up.
So Jared Ballman will punt from his own end zone. And see if the Bears play run back or go for the block here. And whatever, it's not going to be a play here. Timeout might have been called by the Huskies.
Timeout, Washington, number 2. Media timeout.
Only had 10 guys out there, so now they'll get They actually bring 2 more out. They'll try to play with 12. See if they can get that by. They'll work it out when we come back. 45-7 ball game. We're just underway here in the 4th and final period, and Washington punting from deep in its own territory. Ballman with his heels at the end line. Bears look as though they'll play for the return here. It's going to be Sean Young, the deep man, to return it at the 41-yard line. Young stutter steps, and when you do that, you got a problem. Gets it to the 35-yard line. The story of this game, of course, has been the play of Javid Best. 311 yards, 4 touchdowns. What an afternoon.
And that's a school record. Only 19 carries, 4th best performance in the FBS this year. I mean, he just had it going from the get-go, and we said it right on the onset of the show. If he hits the edge, he has got legitimate speed. That's his dislocated elbow that he's been playing with for a lot of the year, and that giant brace that he wears, and they've iced it up. They've put a towel on his head. He will not get the NCAA record held by Ruben Mays, 357 yards. But pretty good.
I'll say. I'll say. Yeah, Javid Best hurt that elbow in the Colorado game. Here's Slocum, and Slocum's got room to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, and out of bounds to the 13-yard line. Nate Williams saved the touchdown. Well, they don't drop off a whole lot with Slocum either. Now, he's not a taken to the house kind of guy necessarily. He doesn't have that quite the burst that Javid Best has, nor Shane Vereen, but pretty good north and south runner.
Well, he'll put up some numbers by the time his career is over at Cal. Tracy Slocum, only a sophomore, a little under 200 pounds, out of Fresno, California, went to Clovis East High School. There's like 5 Clovis high schools in the Fresno area. Clovis West, Clovis East, Clovis Southwest, just Clovis.
All those directional.
Can't even say them. Double directional directions.
Coming off the edge this time is Young. And Young is dropped at the 9-yard line. Looks like there might be a face mask there. A horse collar.
Sean Young's a senior, getting some touches. We just saw him return that punt. Stopped his feet, not a great return, but has a chance to make up for it with the end around and does pretty good. Sean Young is a local guy and a senior out of Berkeley, California. And no, not the actress from No Way Out, nor is he related to her.
But yes, the brother of Eddie Young, linebacker on this team.
Which is way better than being related to Sean Young from No Way Out.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
Or Burt Young, who was the second in the Rocky movies. This time it's Manchin on the keep, and he'll get it to the 5-yard line. He'll play fool to everybody except the Huskies.
Yeah, I'm not sure running the ball is really what Brock Manchin needs to be doing at 6'5". Nate Williams kind of collapsed him. Brock Manchin really did pass the eyeball test when I saw him in camp in August of 2007. He really looked the part with ideal size and an arm, and he'll be in the mix this spring. It's going to be a wide open quarterback competition between Kevin Riley and Brock Manchin, and they have some guys coming in, and it's going to be interesting to see who Jeff Tedford decides to go with for the 2009 season at Cal.
Well, and a familiar name in the Pac-10 Conference, Bo Sweeney will also be in that mix. Kevin Sweeney's son, Jim Sweeney's dad, touchdown. A flag in the end zone, we'll see.
Well, there were 2 tight ends out there. Tad Smith thought it was for him, the former D lineman. Wasn't for him. Anthony Miller ends up making the catch.
Offense number 80.
They're going to call it on Miller,
penalty, previous spot,
who
third
caught
down.
the ball for the touchdown, so now it'll be 3rd down. And this will back the Bears all the way up to about the 19-yard line. Now, the Bears can make a 1st down at the 1-yard line.
Get the feeling that Jeff Tedford just trying to get some experience for Brock Manchin here. And he's mixing it up, getting young guys involved, getting seniors involved, and really working it out here at the end of the football game.
Manchin straight back, steps up, throws underneath. And That ball intended that time for Tracy Slocum. And now it'll be 4th down. And they will bring on the kicker to Jordan Kay to try a field goal. It's going to be a reasonably lengthy field goal of 36 yards. They would make it 37 from where they spot it. Jordan Kay will do the kicking here. The senior has some experience. And he drives this one, and it is good. So Jordan Kay makes good from 36 yards out. They make it officially, and it is a 48-7 ball game with 11 minutes and 33 seconds remaining to be played here in Berkeley. We're coming back. Well, the Bears lead at 48-7, still 11 minutes, 35 seconds remaining to be played in this one. College hoops coming back tonight. The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series continues. 24th ranked Baylor will go up to Pullman, Washington to battle for the Washington State Cougars in an early season game. Our coverage of the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series continues tonight, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. Been a tough year for Washington State, of course, on the gridiron, but a good year in basketball. But here's a number. This is really interesting, I think, Pete. The football team gave up an average of 43.8 points a game. The basketball team's given up an average of 43.4.
Get him out there. Have him play some D.
Yeah, that's right.
Is Robbie Cowgill still on that team? Put him at defensive end.
Graduated after 6 years, I think. No, Robbie's a great student, actually. He's down in Texas. But they're a pretty good team, I'll tell you what. And they got a good team they're playing against tonight, too, in Baylor. Quinn Richardson returns to the 36-yard line.
After that tough season at Washington State, they're going to finish up at Hawaii. Pretty nice. You know, you lose a few games. Happened already.
And they lost.
Yeah. Just get out to Hawaii, get that nice trip.
That's the thing. At least you're going to end the season. May as well end it with a tan, right?
Sure.
There was going to be a halfback pass. Well, it is a pass off the lateral, and that was not pretty. That was Cody Bruns throwing the ball. He did well just to get it off. Well, the first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Overstock.com's prices are so low you can afford to buy something for your friends, too. Overstock.com at home.
With the O.
Straight ahead to Griffin, busted right up the middle, and he's cracked by Bernard Hicks.
Well, we talked about Willie Griffin and how he's a one-cut runner, makes a nice cut, takes it right into the teeth of that Bear defense and does a good job getting it upfield and runs right into Bernard Hicks. He's about 10 pounds heavier than Willie and imposes those extra 10 pounds on Willie and smashes him right into the turf. Nice tackle, good run.
That was a good run. First down for the Huskies, right at midfield. And here's Griffin again. Picks up about 9 this time. Michael Muhammad makes the stop.
You're going to hear a lot about Michael Muhammad as the years go by here at Cal. And maybe Willie Griffin as well. We'll see what happens under Steve Sarkisian, and it looks like Steve Sarkisian's going to get this Washington job. Who he's going to choose to be his starting running back. They got about 5 to choose from.
Yeah, they do. Griffin that time could get started. Nice play in the backfield by DJ Holt. Bears going largely with a backup unit now.
It'll be really interesting to see, Barry, what Steve Sarkisian, if he indeed does get this job, and most people believe he will, does with Jake Locker and how it works. Steve Sarkisian, kind of a pro-style offensive coach.
What a play that time in the backfield, and it was made by Ernest Owusu. was a big-time play for a guy who does not get a lot of minutes.
He went flying into that backfield and got both hands on Willie Griffin and then turned him around and took him to the ground. Just a very violent hit, mostly with his upper body. Great job by Owusu. Forcing a fourth down, and they're going to go for it.
They as well. 4th down and 5. Bean out of the gun. 4-man rush. Protection holds up. Ball batted in the air, and nobody's going to get it. Went in and out of a couple of hands. The last man to touch it was Nabufi. Mike Rusi got a hand on it to begin with. So we'll jump away. 48-7 ball game. 9:14 remaining to be played. College Football Saturday is presented by Acura. Visit shopacura.com during the Drive Home for the Holidays event. Acura, advance. And brought to you in part by American Airlines. We know why you fly. We're American Airlines. And by The Day the Earth Stood Still. In theaters December 12th. Well, the Bears will get it back here at the 45-yard line. And I doubt they're going to do it too fancy. Will Manchin steps up and throws and completes a pass that time to Drew Glover. Glover will be about a half-yard short of the first down.
Did you hear him yell? Did you hear the primal yell?
He's a senior. You know,
from Glover, the chest pound and the pretty good.
A chance to shine a little bit here. His last game before the home crowd.
Well, Cal's going to play in that Emerald Bowl. They'll get a lot of home crowd there right across the bay.
Absolutely. That game at AT&T Park. Here's a give to Slocum straight ahead for the first down. About the 42-yard line.
Crazy thing about the Emerald Bowl is both teams on the same sideline.
That's right.
That's a long way to run in. If they're on the far side and you're on the other side and you got some kind of substitution, you know, get your defensive packages in. I'd run no huddle the whole game.
I didn't even think about that, to tell you the truth.
That's a long run.
So first down at the 42-yard line for the Bears as the shadows, as you see, start to creep across Memorial Stadium here. Manchin, the quarterback. Give it to Slocum again. Slocum this time will get about 5 more to about the 37-yard line. This is a backup California offensive line, and they're still moving the Huskies back. Foster makes the tackle.
And the Huskies still have their starters in. Daniel Nessheim is in there. Johnny Curtin is in there. Butler's still out there. Richardson, everybody. The whole starting defense is out there for Washington. And they're breathing hard, trying to stop Cal and see if they can get Taylor Bean another chance.
The Bears have now rushed for 430 yards in this game. Have not had to throw the ball very much. Manchin throws this time. Catch made. And I'd love to tell you who that was, but he's number 87, and we don't have a number 87 on our roster.
I'll tell you this, he's on the team.
He is, and he made a nice catch.
Cal's going to be playing that Emerald Bowl against a team from the ACC. And it looks like
Alex Stroud was the recipient of his first career catch. He is a senior, so
good for him.
Yeah, it's great.
Look at that. Everybody's geeked up. Washington's going to take a 14-game losing streak. Can you imagine saying that about Washington football?
No.
14-game losing streak into 2009 with Steve Sarkisian likely to be their head coach.
There's Slocum this time on the carry down about the 25-yard line. Well, Jeff Tedford trying to give all his seniors a little piece of the action here.
And that's a great feeling for a coach. It's a great feeling on the sideline for everybody, the starters, young and old, to see guys they practice with every day that don't get a chance to feature their skills on Saturdays out there. But really very satisfying for a head coach and his staff to be in a position in a game to play all those guys in a positive position when you're winning in a game, to get all those guys in. And you see a lot of smiles down there on the Cal sideline because they get to watch these guys go out and do their thing here at Strawberry Canyon.
Absolutely. This is Peter Gertz, redshirt freshman tailback, and he picks up about 3. Peter Gertz, one of those guys that I'm sure works with the scout team more often than not. He's out of San Ramon High School, Monte Vista High School in San Ramon. That's just over the hills here.
And those guys are so important to a football team collectively. Guys that don't play a whole bunch, guys that are on the scout team, their attitude, especially on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, heavy practice days for college football, Sundays after a win or a loss, the attitude of those guys that set everybody up is
This time it's Tyndall, a fullback. He'll get about a yard. It'll be 4th down. I suspect the Bears will just run another play here. And I would doubt that they would throw it, too. Slocum comes back into the California lineup. 10 different players have carried the football today for California. And as we said, they're right around the 440-yard mark in rushing. They need about 3.5 yards for a 1st down here. Here's Slocum. He's not going to get it. He's buried back at the 27-yard line. Let's go to the sideline right now. Jim Watson. Waddy.
Long season for the football team, but for UW sports fans, it hasn't been all bad. 2 weeks ago, running in the cold, windy conditions in Terre Haute, Indiana, the Washington women's cross-country team shocked at sport, winning the national championship, guys. First cross-country title for the Huskies and the school's first national title of any kind since the women's volleyball team back in '05. Freshman Christine Babcock, the first Husky to cover the 6K course, but all 7 Washington runners finished in the first 51. Huskies, again, going to be the team to beat next year. 6 of those 7 are back. And by the way, Oregon was second, and on the men's side, Oregon wins the men's championship. Galen Rupp from Oregon, your individual champion.
And here's Polk on to carry, and Polk will get about 9, and we're going to get another game break right now as we take it to the studio once more. Mike Goldberg. Mike?
And Barry, we will take you once more to the Rose Bowl. USC, UCLA, Trojans starting to pull away. Stephon Johnson right up the gut for the touchdown. It's 21-7 for Johnson. That is his 9th rush touchdown on the season. That's the best on the Trojans roster. USC leads 21-7, nearing the half.
Goldie, order seemingly has been restored in the Rose Bowl, and after trailing 7-0, the Trojans 3 unanswered scores.
And this is the beginning of a long battle between Pete Carroll and Rick Neuheisel in the city of Los Angeles. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, not only on the field, but in the recruiting battle as well. Those two guys are really going to get after it.
Willie Griffin fumbled the football, but I believe the Huskies have it back. And they do. It's going to be 2nd down, less than a yard. Bean has had to go most of the way after Fouch was injured midway through the 1st half. And we get a flag before
Full
the
start,
snap.
number 83 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
So now it's 1st and 15. Clock continuing to tick down inside of 4 minutes now remaining in this game and remaining in this season and remaining in the coaching tenure for Ty Willingham. And as we said, wish Ty nothing but the best. He's been a stand-up guy. He's been a real stand-up guy all through this very difficult year. Been a long year for our crew here too, and always a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun this year too. Give a shout out, of course, to all the guys in the truck who really make this broadcast. You and I are just the mouthpieces here, but
just a puppet, that's all I am. Exactly. Just a talking head.
And I.
No, not
one. Jay Cutler, of course, our producer. And, Jay making a big comeback this year. Jeff Kibler. Kibbs is always a joy, the complete professional. Produced the first 3 or 4 games for us this year. And the birthday boy today.
Oh, Dave Sobel. A big champion for the people. The glue that holds us together.
Pass is caught that time by Tony Chidiak. Doug Freeman, of course. Dougie's been on this package for, what, 110 years? I think Amos Alonzo Stagg was in the game that Doug did first. Mark Ancliffe, who makes all our words somehow come out through this microphone. Of course, the guys up there in the booth, without whom we couldn't do this. Jeff Chapman, The best with a pencil. And Dick Quinn with the finger.
The owl.
The owl. And of course, Jim Watson. It's always a ton of fun. If people only knew.
Yes, they did. And I got to thank you, Barry. Just being with you guys every year is a pleasure and fun. And it's Pac-10 football is fun anyway, but you guys make it the thrill of the year every Saturday to come out and do these games in all these beautiful places.
It really is a real good time on the road, and fine dining, a lot of fine dining. I always got to go on a diet before the season starts because I know by the end of the year I'm going to be up about 15.
I should start doing that because I've moved from being a tailback to a 3 technique now.
Give this time straight ahead to Luke Kravitz. Well, Ty Willingham now a minute and a half away from, I almost think taking a big sigh of relief.
Well, there's no question that it's been a rough year, and years like this happen in football, and they happen to coaches as good as Ty Willingham, and sometimes coaches better than Ty Willingham. It's just the circumstances at Washington, whatever they were, just didn't happen for what is a very proud man, and I think a great builder of young men, a guy that really puts the kids first in college football. That's not always the case in modern college football. As we know, it's a business and it's got to move forward, but Ty Willingham, a class act through and through. And if you send your kid to play for Ty Willingham, chances are he's going to come out on the other side a way better person because of his association with Ty Willingham. And it's going to be interesting to see where he goes and what happens, as it will be very interesting to see what the future of this Washington football program is. Bringing in a guy like Steve Sarkisian, who's never been a head coach before, but certainly a guy with a lot of charisma and a lot of promise.
This is going to the end zone, and it's knocked away, a little bit underthrown. That ball intended for Cody Bruns. Cody normally wears number 7, but you couldn't have 2 number 7s out there with Taylor Bean also wearing that number, so he's wearing 42 right now. Well defended that time by the Bears. Bears just not allowing anything deep today. They've dominated this game. They dominated it right from the get-go. Job at best, of course, with the towel on the head, but that's the only thing that'll cool him down, I'll tell you that.
Well, Jeff Tedford has got it going at Cal, and I know that they played some tough games on the road and would like to have a couple more victories this year. But all in all, a very successful season at Cal. They were supposed to be a little more down than they were this year.
And almost an interception. That was right into the hands of Brett Johnson. Just couldn't quite hold on to it. The ball will go over to California with just 29 seconds remaining.
And as Jeff Tedford has it going, they really are reloading with better and better players every year. And as the facility gets built, as Waddy was talking to us about, this Cal football program, I mean, there's no ceiling on what they can do in this beautiful area with these players and a guy with a mind like that as a head coach.
No, absolutely. And, he really did want to get Nate Longshore some minutes today and have him go out on a high, and I think he managed to do that. A lot of his seniors getting touches down the stretch after Cal got the big lead, and California will finish the regular season 8-4. Pretty darn good. 551 total yards today, 433 up on the ground, 311 by a guy who I'm sure was going to create some attention as to a possible Heisman Trophy next year. But in the meantime, bittersweet. Ty Willingham with the handshake for Jeff Tedford, who I'm sure wish Ty well. I'm sure we will see him once again. It's been quite a season, quite a football game today for California.
Well, they just look fantastic. Those linebackers are fun to watch, and can't say enough about the excitement of Javed Best. And like you said, Barry, next year for the Heisman, his name is going to be brought up more than one time, I guarantee you, before we kick it off for the 2009 Pac-10 season.
Well, we've seen a lot of running backs come and go in the Pac-10 conference, and I would have to say that Javed Best is right up there in that very top echelon.
Well, I think his speed is comparable and only comparable to Reggie Bush's speed at USC, the kind of guy that hits the edge and says goodbye, and he's better between the tackles than Reggie Bush was at USC. This is a real running back.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the key point. I think Javid Best really is an inside-the-tackle runner, and, of course, once he gets into the secondary, it's over. That's what happened today. Jim Watson right now is with Javid Best. Waddy?
Well, what can you say about this guy's day? 19 carries, 311 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Best day you've ever had on a football field?
Yeah, by far, unless you want to go back to high school. But yeah.
Tell me about it. It started out pretty well. First time you touch the ball, you go 70 yards for a touchdown.
I mean, it started off good because we came out focused and we just wanted to get this last win at home, go undefeated at home, and we came out ready to fight. And the O-line created a big hole, and I was able to run through it.
Nice to give your O-line some love. You know, you're only 45 yards away from the Pac-10 all-time record. Were you lobbying Tedford on the sideline? Do you want to go back in?
Oh, no, I'm not trying to be selfish at all. I was trying to get my other RBs in there.
How about looking forward to the Emerald Bowl? Maybe it's the Vegas Bowl. You guys excited about that? You're undefeated at home. It's a great season for you.
Yeah, I mean, if we're playing the Emerald Bowl, it's going to be right in San Francisco, so it's going to be like another home game. So we're fortunate for that, and I mean, it doesn't matter what bowl we go to. We're going to be excited about it.
What's with the hard hat? Is this for the new remodel, or is that because you're all business?
No, that's just when you work hard, you get a hard hat.
Congratulations, man. Great job tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, Javid Best, 311 yards, 4th best all time in Pac-10 history, Barry. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll say, especially since he did it in just about 3 quarters. Actually, a little bit less than 3 quarters. Javid Best, no telling how many yards he might have had were he allowed to play the whole game. But as he said, not a selfish guy. All about the team, and they win it today, 48-7. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where the hometown Cal Bears have won it over the Washington Huskies 48-7. Let's go down to the field once more. Jim Watson with Jeff Tedford. Waddy?
Coach, almost everything you wanted today. An easy win. Nobody got hurt. You're undefeated at home.
Yeah, it's been a great season here at home, and to go out undefeated for our senior, it's a great thing. They've had a lot of nice days here, and so I'm really proud of this group. And it was a good day all the way around. Defense played well. We ran the ball real well. Nate got in there and did some good things, so it was a good day.
Do you think about putting Javid back in to go for the record, Ruben May's record? He's only 45 yards off.
Well, actually, we thought we put him back in to get the Cal record. I didn't know about the other record, or maybe we would have.
Talk to me a little bit about Ty, because I saw you guys before the game started. I know that's a tough thing, but you can relate to him and what he's gone through.
Well, it's tough, you know, and I wish the best for Ty. He's always been a great competitor, a great person, a great guy for the sport, and I wish him all the best in his future.
I think we all expect you guys to end up in the Emerald Bowl, so wherever it is, congratulations on a great season and good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. Barry, let's go back upstairs. Jeff Tedford, a great season again here in Berkeley.
Yeah, it really was. And, P, I think you really made the best point. I mean, this is not just a good season, but this is a good program right now.
And that's what they've built, and with the renovations to the stadium, it's only going to get better, and we'll see what happens with the Huskies. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, they finished a very tough season, 0-12. They'll have a new coach. We assume that will be Steve Sarkisian, so it starts all over again in Seattle next year, and it continues in Berkeley. That's a wrap for us, not only for this game, but for this season. For my partners, Petros Papadakis and Jim Watson, I'm Barry Tompkins. So long, everybody.